because I hadn't used this in so long that it just. Yeah, I think we're just straight up live. Okay.
We're live.
I didn't put in the 60-second countdown or whatever. It's fine. We don't need it. We don't need it.
Yeah, who needs it?
I might just throw it out that we're live real quick before we
We're
get
live,
properly started.
everybody.
Be like, oh look, we're doing it. We're in it.
Oh.
Okay. How do you tweet again? Sorry. How do you? Is it still called tweet? Did they change the name of it? When X
Yeah, but who cares? Elon sucks. I'm never switching over to.
He does.
I have a friend that I stream with who still has like the bird icon because he hasn't updated his app. I'm like, that's awesome.
Really?
That's so cool. He's I won't get any of the updates, but I don't care because I want the bird. I want it to say Twitter still. I was like, yeah, that's fair.
That's great. I mean, if you type in Twitter on PC, it just automatically goes to the X homepage. Like they never changed that. But I mean, they kind of have to. You lose that, you're gonna lose people who are like people who don't know the difference.
On your phone, if you like search up your apps and you type in Twitter, X pops up. It's like,
oh really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I also just don't like. I think the logo for it is unappealing. I just the letter X doesn't sound like a good app in my opinion.
When you share a link, it doesn't show what it is. So it just says like someone has sent a link from X, and it sounds like it's something else. It sounds like it's a different kind of link. Yeah. It's like, I don't know if I want to share this around. It's a weird.
No, yeah, literally, it's like, is this? Are people gonna hate me if I share this? Like, what is this? All right, live now. Come hang out. Okay, so I'll post it. Everybody knows. Everybody that may show up knows. Anybody who has any intentions of showing up probably won't. But hey, these streams never do well, so it's fine. But how are you? Thank you for coming on.
I'm good. I've been looking forward to this all week. For the last couple of weeks, technically, since you kind of brought it up to me. I love our collaborations. If it's over here or over on my side, it's always a blast to just get to chill and chat. I think especially on your channel, yours is more like casual, so it just kind of feels like we're like
well, I mean, you've got yours down to like a system. Like yours is just so professional now, and it's done so well. And you also just I respect your networking ability so much. It's just like every single week you've got someone else on. Like you don't know who you're gonna have, you know.
I don't know how I do it, but
like how many people did you have on yours last year?
I had some overlap, but I had someone for every week basically. I think there's only one episode last year. It was just me, and every other week I had a guest on, which is
that's so impressive. You know everybody. You're the guy. Anybody needs to meet anybody, they just go to you. They're like, hey, who do you know in the comic books? Yeah, absolutely. But we're going to talk about television today or tonight for me, but afternoon for you, isn't it?
Yeah. 3 p.m. Yeah.
What'd you think about 2025 for television shows?
You know what? It was. I think I like TV more in 2025 than I did movies in 2025. I thought movies was like, it was a good year. It was a very solid year. Some great stuff came out. A lot I missed, but I think TV, I was pretty proud of myself because I think it's like the most diversified my list has ever been. Like so many years, so much of what I watch is like the comic book shows, the Marvel, the DC, the Star Wars. And this year I was like, I feel like I have something from like every genre. Like I got a medical show, I got the like acclaimed Apple TV shows, I have a comic book show, I have like a rom-com-y kind of show. Like I feel like I'm all across the board this year. And I'm super excited to kind of come in and be like, okay, this is my diverse list of shows. And I don't know. I'm excited to talk because we had some incredible TV this year.
Oh, absolutely. We've had some one of the best years in a while.
Too. Yeah.
I thought this year was, or last year was much better for television than 2024 was. Like pretty easily. And I think this is the first year in maybe ever where there's not a Marvel or DC show on my top 10. Like it's like, and that's not to like, to say that they weren't good or whatever. I thought they were good. There's one of the Marvel shows I loved. There's just, but it's not even just, I just thought that the quality was so good for across the board from so many shows that it pushed a lot of the Marvel and DC stuff that usually would get in my top 10, just like nowhere near it. Yeah, but it was, I don't know, I watched, I think, 89, I think by the end of the year. I got 89 seasons of TV in from the year.
30. So there's
that's still pretty good
gap,
though, because you got a lot of the big ones though. Like a lot of my list, a lot of like the lower parts of my list are like the shows that barely anybody watched.
Sure.
It's like, like that like John Hamm Apple Plus show, Your Friends and Neighbors or whatever, that probably 5 people know about. But I watched it because I like, it's John Hamm. I like John Hamm. Like that's a lot of my stuff that ends up on my list. And things like, I don't know, like Wednesday, which I'm not a fan of, and I knew I wasn't going to be a fan of, but I watched it anyway just so that I could have it on my list. But yeah, so we're gonna go over our list of our top 10 and throw a few disappointing seasons in there as well, of things that we were like, this could have been better. It wasn't. We hated it. We wanted it to never happen. No, I think I prefer doing disappointing seasons over like the worst seasons of the year, because I feel like there's such a good line between disappointing and the worst seasons. Because if it's the worst season, like you might have had no expectations for it, and like it being the worst season just means you didn't like it at all. But like you might not have ever thought you were gonna like it. Whereas with disappointing, it's something you really wanted to like, and it didn't live up to your expectations for whatever reason.
I'm so rarely in this like, I hated this thing. There was no redeeming qualities about a thing. Like I just don't kind of view media like that typically. Most like 70% of the stuff I watch is in that like middle ground of like pretty good to okay. And I feel like there's a rarity of like, I love this thing so much, and there's also a rarity of like, I hated this thing so much. So it's always that like middle chunk that people don't like to talk about, because on the internet it's either you loved it or you hated it. It's like, guys, where's the nuance? Where's the nuance in these conversations that we're having? Like, where is it, man?
No, I completely agree. It's like there's, I don't know, I don't think anything's ever the worst thing ever. That like it's there's always a something in it that worked, or that, the tiniest thing that you might have liked out of it. Was there any, like, I don't know if you can remember any, this is a question I'm springing off the top of my head, but was there like a favorite piece of TV news from last year that you loved, or that made you the most excited? Like maybe for something that hasn't come out yet and that's coming out this year or whatever. But like, was there like an announcement or a renewal or a cancellation even
this year? Was Ted Lasso, was that
was last year? Yeah,
that was last year. Okay,
it was early last year, I think. Yeah,
that was up there. We had some fun like Vision Quests, like updates kind of going around. Good TV news. I mean, Dexter went through the ringer this year in terms of like its franchise, because it went through the ringer of like, okay, we'll talk about that later probably, but like the newest Dexter show came out and I binged that whole show and prep, because I was like, oh, this is like the new Arrowverse. There's going to be like 3 to 4 shows going on at a time. It's like, well, this one's canceled and this one's not happening and this other stuff isn't happening, and so it's just the main one. So that was an interesting journey this year. The DCU started this year with 2 TV shows. It did start,
yeah.
Like, and I assume we'll also talk about that maybe a bit later too, but that was an interesting journey. Like those shows or not, like we had DC TV content again this year.
We had a few. We had like Sandman was pretty recent as well. There was a good few shows out from DC.
I don't know if it was, this may have been last year as well, but My Adventures with Green Lantern got announced.
That did, yeah.
This year, last year, which that was just exciting to me, because it's like, oh, we have a new DC universe, like this Elseworld DC universe. Like, hey, this may be equivalent to like an Arrowverse in a couple of years. We have like 3 shows going on at a time or something like that. Yeah,
that'd be cool. Yeah. I would love to see that. Like My Adventures with Flash or My Adventures with Wonder Woman, those would be great.
Flash in that style and that like anime kind of stuff would look incredible. That would be
great. I would love it
for that.
Yeah. Was there a cancellation of a show from last year that like really annoyed you or really shocked you?
I think it was that Dexter. It was the like Dexter Original Sin, I think is what it was called.
The prequel,
I was just so, I don't know, like I that was one of my favorite Dexter spinoffs that we had got. Like there's been a couple of those that we had got, but that show had like, I don't know if I've ever seen a show with just like so much potential from a pitch. Like if you've seen that original show, it just kind of makes sense with what they were doing, and they were building so many cool things where characters were going to go and things we were going to see. So yeah, that was up there. I think with most of these shows now though, like I'm just so kind of used to the like cancel. Like I think after what, not to bring up the Arrowverse again, literally 10 minutes in, but like after we got like Superman and Lois of it all, the Batwoman, the Legends, the Black Lightnings, I'm kind of like I'm immune at this point. Like whatever. Like,
any cancellation
can't hurt me
isn't going to
as
shock
much
you
as
more
those
than that.
hurt me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I don't think I've ever been more shocked than the day that when Batwoman and Legends were cancelled. That was like the okay, so they're ending like the Arrowverse is over.
That was
but then there was also that was the real one. But then there was also, I think, I don't even want to say the Daredevil cancellation shocked me, but I think it was the Luke Cage and Iron Fist cancellation from a month before that shocked me the most, because that was like, if these are getting cancelled, then there's a real good chance the rest of them are going to. Like, but I feel like they're both the same things, where the Arrowverse, the Netflix Marvel stuff, where they both sort of collapsed around with the same sort of feeling to them both.
Yeah, and like I look back also, like it wasn't a cancellation, but I look back to like when Superman and Lois announced that they were separated from the Arrowverse, and that was like one of like the big, it's ending. It's like that was the the Arrowverse is over now. It's time to wrap these shows up. We're separating, and that kind of felt like a cancellation, at least like a cancellation of the show we knew prior, and it transitioned to like something new.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Yeah. No, well, if we want to jump into it, then I guess, because we're here for 11 minutes and we haven't even talked about any of our shows yet. I do have any honorable mentions, things that didn't end up in your top 10 that you want to shout out, like that you get a chance to talk about now while you can?
I think Invincible is right on my press of my top 10.
Yep.
Invincible is just like very consistently great to me. I've enjoyed all 3 seasons we've got, and I assume I'll love season 4 just as much. There were some small little things I was, a little bit more critical on some of my other friends or some.
Oh, that's my bad. Sorry, I added that and then I clicked the wrong thing.
There were some like little plot lines where I'm like, this could have been an extra episode, or this could have been paced out a little bit better. But the highs of Invincible season 3 were so unbelievably high. The debates I had with my friends during the season, like like over on my show, like 2 of us were on one side of the Cecil versus Invincible like argument, and the other one was on the other side, and that was so much fun to have our like a mini like civil war as we would like debate the like morality of this show, and like what are the rights and wrongs of this superhero morality check. I thought was so fascinating. And then of course the ending is like such an insane piece. It's like one of the highest rated episodes of like superhero it's like 94 or some shit.
I think the final 3 episodes of season 3 are all really high up there.
They're high.
Because episode 6 was the Aaron Paul one, wasn't it? With his character, and then episode 7 was the Invincible War, and then episode 8 was finally where like the big culmination of everything started to happen, which was crazy, because Invincible is also one of my honorable mentions. Like it was in my top 10 for so much of the year, and just barely got pushed out at the very end. And like, we've talked about Invincible, like we've both been watching it since it started, and we've both talked about it a decent bit since it came on. And I think we've always had like, not arguments, but like discussions where you were always much more of a fan of the show than I was, where just it never really lived up to what I wanted to be, or to what I thought everybody else talked about it as. But it was season 3 where I was like, oh no, this actually is one of the best comic book shows on TV at the moment. Like, it's fantastic.
And that's so funny, because I think it is technically my least favorite season.
Oh really? Because it's my favorite.
It's like, but like in the way that like season 4 is my least favorite Breaking Bad season, where it's like, sure. But they're all
season
great. Like,
4
they're
is
all
your least
good.
Favorite? Oh.
Yeah,
Breaking
I should
Bad?
watch it though. I know. I found some of it a bit annoying, but
okay.
Which both have Aaron Paul in it, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Which again, like I'm playing Dispatch right now, which has Aaron Paul in it.
It has
so
a big voice cast
coded. It that show, like that game feels like it could be set in the Invincible world, just like somewhere else, where it's like, oh yeah, this is just a little corner over there. But yeah, no, this season was great. It was...
Yeah.
can't believe it was February already. It's been
a year. Yeah. It was. I remember Invincible and Reacher were airing at the same time for.
That is right.
For like 4 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
I think Reacher started towards the end of Invincible. But yeah, like Amazon kind of hit the ground running at the start of the year with.
But also, like I'll also say, like, this aired in February, comes back in March, which is a fantastic return time. Like that's the stuff I've been dreaming of, where these like comic book shows for a while. So that's great.
Which I really respect that. That's like a true, genuine. It's coming out next year, and not the way season 2, where they were like, "Oh, don't worry, it's coming out next year." And when we say that, we mean 4 episodes are coming out in like December.
Yeah. And then that gap between 1 and 2, where it was like what, like 3 years brutal, or something, like 2.5, 3 years. It was like, oh boy, it was a minute.
Which I really enjoyed Invincible. I think season 3 was great, but I don't think the art style of it meant there should have been that big of a gap between seasons 1 and 2. Like, it didn't strike me as a show that needed that long of a gap necessarily.
Yeah, I would imagine COVID probably had a role to play in its large break in time.
Sure, yeah, because season 1 was right on COVID, wasn't it?
I think it was. Right, I think it was 20. Wasn't it 2020 or 2021?
Yeah,
maybe?
I think it was. Yeah, it was either early 2021 or late 2020.
Yeah, because I remember like that was like one of the main shows I watched during COVID, and like I watched that while we were out of school for stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Cool.
Is there any other shows that you want to shout out, or is Invincible kind of the only one?
I don't have to spend time on it, but like Skeleton Crew ended in 2025. Sure. Yeah. I adored that.
Oh, I did it again. I tried to remove the picture. Did that again. Love that.
It's flawed, but I do love Stranger Things. That ended recently.
Sure, yeah.
Like, I've had my issues with the season. I've also enjoyed it. I think more than a lot of the public is right now. Ironheart, I really fucked with, especially in the back half. Gen V came out this year. Like, there's a lot I could mention in terms of stuff I liked.
Cool.
But yeah.
Cool. I'll see. I had like 5 like prepared, but Invincible was one of them anyway. There were 2 that I would have had in my honorable mentions, but they're in your top 10 anyway. So I'm not going to talk about them here. Obviously, one I want to bring up really quick is Fallout Season 2 was actually in my top 10 after episode 3 aired, and I was like, it's not really fair. You know, there's still 5 episodes to go, and it came out right at the end of the year. So I took it out of my top 10. I was like, all right, it's not a mention, I guess. But I'm loving the season so far. Episode 4 and episode 3 were the 2 best episodes of the season, easily in my opinion. They're doing some really cool stuff with Lucy, some really cool stuff with the Ghoul, some really cool stuff with Maximus. The most recent episode is probably the best Maximus episode of the show, I would say. Have you seen any of the season yet?
Yeah, no, we've been covering it over for after the credits, and I haven't done episode 4 yet, but we've done the first 3 episodes, and it's like such a good transition from 1 to 2. Like, it doesn't really feel like they've missed a beat. It's just like, hey, I like season 1. Here's more of that same exact quality. It's like, oh, it's so refreshing. It's so good. Again, very casual Fallout. Like, I'm doing it with a friend who loves Fallout. It has like such a huge history. So obviously, I'm not enjoying it as much as probably you would. Probably the same I would have for like The Last of Us, where it's like, oh, I'm a fan of that fandom, so I'm going to have more of that kind of attachment. But like, I do think I finally agree with you. We're like, okay, this is probably the best video game adaptation in terms of pure quality and what they're doing. And like, this template, I think, is going to spark up movement. I think we're going to see a lot more of just like, hey, let's do a new Last of Us show, but like, it's just a new story, or, you know, stuff like that, which is, you know, I guess Arcane kind of did that too, where it just kind of took the world and they kind of were just allowed to play in that little sandbox. But no, I think that's awesome. And like, now they're saying like, oh, like the next Fallout game, whenever it does come out in, you know, 20 years, will have like the show in its canon.
They're saying the show is going to be firmly in the canon. Which, I mean, Elder Scrolls 6, so the next, the sequel to Skyrim has to come out before Fallout 5 because they're the same developers. And they're saying Elder Scrolls 6 is probably next year. They're saying it was planned to be this year, but now it's probably next year. So that means that once that's out, Fallout 5 is going to be the next game that they're making. But also, it took them 14 years to make The Elder Scrolls 6, so we can't really, put a lot of hope in Fallout 5 coming out before we're like 45.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah, so that's Fallout. Then some other ones I wanted to talk about, which if StreamYard would play ball with me, that would be really appreciated. One thing that was one of the shows I had no idea was coming out this year.
Yeah.
And then it came out and I was like, oh, this is great, was Task, which it's not just from the creator of Mayor of Easttown, it's also set in the same world, apparently. So that Kate Winslet, Evan Peters HBO show from a few years ago, Mayor of Easttown, which is also getting a second season now, as well as Task. Both of them were originally planned on being miniseries, limited series, and now both are getting second seasons. So I wonder if they're going to build out of this. But Mark Ruffalo, Tom Pelphrey, were both just fantastic in this. Like, it was a really intense 7 episodes, really well done, about the story of Tom's character. Essentially, he's doing a robbery, it goes wrong, he ends up taking the kid of the guy he killed and trying to hide that kid so that, he can't talk to Mark Ruffalo's character, who's the FBI, and Mark Ruffalo's leading this task force chasing Tom's character. And it's just really good stuff. It's also got Kristen Cole from House of the Dragon, that guy, the Kingsguard guy. I don't know if is he a Kingsguard in House of the Dragon? I don't know, but he's in it as well. He's great in it. Yeah, it was one of like the more surprising shows of the year, just because I didn't know it was coming out, and it came out, and there we go. Yeah, do you have any thoughts on that?
I have not seen it, but it's always funny. I think people like forget that Mark Ruffalo is a really good actor. Like,
he is really good. Yeah,
like it's so easy to just like remember him as Hulk, which I don't hate him as Hulk, but like sometimes they don't give him a lot of great material, especially recently, where it's like, oh, Mark Ruffalo, and it's like, oh no, he's actually a fantastic actor. What he did Mickey 17 last year,
he's great in that. Yeah,
gave such a good performance, and like Zodiac and all these fantastic
Zodiac as well. I've recently watched Spotlight with him, where he plays a news reporter in the early 2000s. Sure. He's really good in that. Yeah,
no, I hope he, like, not that I don't want him to be playing Hulk anymore, but like, I do hope people start like really appreciating him as an actor and getting more opportunities to shed his skin, I guess.
Yeah, he honestly, like the first Avengers film,
he's great.
Probably his best performance in the MCU, I'd say. Mm-hmm. Like him when he's picking up the scepter without realizing it. And he's like, I put a bullet in my mouth and the other guy spit it out.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably my favorite scene of Mark Ruffalo's Hulk in the MCU, honestly. Like, he's great in that.
Yeah. I'm really, really hoping they give him some, like, really emotional stuff in Brand New Day. Like, Hulk in Brand New Day can either be the best thing that they do in the like in that movie, or the worst thing. There's no really.
That's the thing, yeah. I feel like, things like The Punisher, and like bringing Scorpion back, like those are really, really, really cool ideas. I think no matter what will aid the quality of the film. Mm-hmm. But then Hulk feels like such a bit of a tonal shift from those two characters in particular, that it could take away from it all, or it could be great.
It could. I really like Spider-Man and Hulk are such like two sides of the same coin in terms of the kind of characters they are, and I really hope they lean in on that, like that loneliness that comes with the Hulk, and that like where Peter's going to be in that movie, where like he doesn't have anybody, he doesn't know who he is. I hope they equate that to Hulk's return in that movie. Not to get sidetracked from TV stuff, but we'll see.
No, I completely agree. And then it's all right. So I've got 2 more honorable mentions. I'll get through them really quick. Sorry, I'm taking ages on this.
You're good.
First I'm going to talk about is The Lowdown, which was an FX show from September-ish. I only actually watched it this past week because it finally got added to Disney Plus here, but I kept hearing about how good it was. But Ethan Hawke plays this a reporter guy who's all about finding the truth and all about tracking stuff down. He gets embroiled in this big conspiracy that includes completely blanking on his name, Dune, Twin Peaks, and Fallout. The Lucy's dad in Fallout, Hank McClain.
Oh, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah.
And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., yeah. Colin Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I don't know his name either, though, yeah.
Well, he's in it. And it's got a great cast in general, and it's just really good stuff. It's really, really, really stylistic. The pilot is probably the best, like, not the best episode of TV from this year, but it will be the best new show episode of TV this year. So from not a returning show, in my opinion.
Kyle McClane?
Kyle McClane, that's it. Yeah. So he has the same second name then in real life as he does in Fallout. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Hey, it's Robin's dad from Stranger Things.
He's Robin's dad in Stranger.
No, Ethan Hawke. I was reading the post.
Oh yeah. In real life, yeah. I was like, he's also in Stranger Things. How did I not know he was in Stranger Things?
Ethan Hawke.
I just rewatched it. Yeah. My Hawke. Yeah. No, yeah. I did know that act. Because and their mother's Uma Thurman, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. And then final honorable mention I want to talk about was the first show from this year that I watched, Rogue Heroes Season 2. Season 1 is one of the best seasons of TV in the last few years, in my opinion. Season 2 didn't quite live up to that, but it was almost as good. Set in around 1943, 1944, following the British Special Air Service, which were these just crazy guys who were like, they took the craziest people from the British armies and just shoved them together. Led by Sinners, and 28 years later, I'm blanking on names today, but that guy, the guy from Sinners, the music guy, the vampire.
Oh, sure.
Him, yeah, Jack something. Blanking on his second name, but yeah, he's so good in it, and it's also got that sex education guy, Connor Swindle. Is that his name? So really good cast, but yeah, great show, and I really enjoyed it. And I can't wait for season 3, but it's going to be a while away. So we'll see. And now we can finally talk about our top 10.
Top 10. In that poster that you just shared, I thought that was Andrew Garfield in the back. Just for
it does look like him. It does really look like
it's that like facial expressions he has to repeat a lot of the time. It's like,
yeah.
No, it's not.
It absolutely does. Okay. So you want to talk about our top 10 then?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's do it.
All right, well, you can start first with your number 10. Let me just pull up the image. Where is it? Okay.
All right. Yeah, my number 10, I was not expecting it to be in my number 10. Like, when we started the year, I was like, oh, it'll probably move down as the the year goes on. It somehow stuck in there, and I'm frankly really happy that at least one comic book project got on my list here. I like to at least have one comic book rep. That's where my love lies. And you know what? For all of them to have got here, I'm happy it's Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I had my doubts going into the show. We waited years and years and years for this to come out. It started as an prequel. The art style I wasn't too sure on when we first saw those early trailers and promo shots. And even like the first episode, I was like, okay, all right, we'll see how this goes. And as the season went on, I really fell in love with the show. Yeah. I truly thought this was such an incredible journey that we took on. I've talked about this several times, but it feels like they took every aspect of Spider-Man, from Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, Toby, to some of the animated shows like Spectacular. They took the comics, they took the video games, and they put it in a snow globe and they shook it up, and they gave us this kind of fresh, brand new take on the character that is like low-key slowly becoming one of my favorite takes on this character. This show has so much heart, so much spunk. It feels like it's like a comic book come to life with its characters and how they're retelling this story. And it's kind of like this version of the MCU Spider-Man, but like kind of better for me. It's like, hey, take all the aspects that you like from those Tom Holland movies, but here's all this additional stuff that kind of improves upon what they couldn't really do in the movies because of the tie-ins to other characters and other things. And I fully just got to make this incredible version of this character and this incredible story. Everything they did with like this version of Tombstone, what blew me away with how they did that. And I really missed this kind of low stakes superhero show about a character just saving people and finding themselves. And like I said it while it was airing, but it really reminded me of like season 1 of The Flash. It was kind of this more personal, low stakes story about just a hero finding themselves and hanging out with friends and doing high school shit. I think Marvel Studio needs more stuff like this. Like this X-Men 97, a lot of these kind of like little Elseworld, Spider-Man Noir comes out this year as well. And like I think stuff like that is very important to be like, it's not the MCU. It's very different. It has a different tone and style and feel and energy to kind of mix it up and do something new.
Yeah. No, this is the one Marvel or DC show of the year to get. Well, I guess there is one DC show that got pretty close to my top 10 as well. But this is the one Marvel show of the year that got really close to my top 10. And it was the kind of thing that I had no expectations for. Because, like, I don't know, coming into this year, there was definitely a bit of a hesitancy with Marvel. You know, like, we didn't know anything about Fantastic Four or Thunderbolts really yet. Fantastic Four had been through so much writing issues and directing issues and whatever. We hadn't really seen anything about it yet. We were still worried that it was going to be terrible. Thunderbolts, that could have gone out either way. Like, I was impressed by the first trailers, but it still could have gone either way. And then we had all this stuff about Captain America 4 being a whole thing and all the reshoots, and we'd pretty freshly come off of all the reports that, you know, Avengers 5 was going to be such a mess because of the whole Kang replacing stuff and all that. Does everything surrounding that. So I had very little. I don't know. I didn't believe in the show basically. I think it was the opening titles, like the opening credits, was that thing that just really sort of brought me in straight away because I was like, this is
that
fun.
Is incredible. Yeah.
This is really, really fun, really, really well put together. Getting to see an origin of an MCU like Spider-Man is just really fun. Seeing all the little changes, seeing how Civil War went down here, seeing how Norman Osborn's replacing Tony, seeing still the Tonys in there, seeing Charlie Cox's Daredevil with the music coming in. It was just fun. Like, it was just a nice, wholesome, fun show that could still be serious and interesting when it needed to be. But like, I don't know, I never felt like watching this was a chore the way certain Marvel related projects have become lately. Like this, it was just enjoyable.
It's really what I think What If should have been. Like, I think in this one show, it already had a more fascinating What If story than like 90% of like the What If episodes, where it's like, hey, what if Spider-Man wasn't a part of Civil War? Like what if he took the opposing side? And like, that's one of my biggest issues with Civil War. I love Civil War, but it's also like, hey, I don't think Peter would do that. Like, I don't think he would involve himself. Like, this is, I always felt like that. So I thought that was such an interesting take. And I would low-key like them to try again. Like, we had Zombies this year, which is not near my top 10.
Yeah.
But like, I also thought that was a much better way to do those What If stories, because they didn't have enough time to tell a story in 20 minutes. Like, hey, how about like 6 episodes instead?
Yeah.
And I thought
like a limited series thing.
Yeah. Like, I prefer that, I think. So.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think back this year too, which is exciting.
It's out. It's what they're saying, summer probably, isn't
fall.
It? Late summer, fall. Okay.
It's X-Men's comes back in the summer.
So fall is like, when is that? September?
Yeah, I assume so.
Okay.
September, October.
Yeah.
But then we also have Vision Quest we heard is fall too. So it's like, how do they? Yeah. I'm kind of afraid they're just gonna drop this. Be like, okay, all episodes.
So wait, when's the cutoff for fall? Because I'm not really familiar on the fall like dates on like the months for what they are. Like, is that like November? Is that the cutoff for it?
Yeah, I mean, winter technically starts end of December technically by like calendar rules, but like I count.
See, that's interesting because here it starts in November.
Yeah, winter.
Like the beginning of November is winter. Yeah.
I think that's kind of how it should be, but September, October, November is consideredly talked about as fall. In my brain, though, it's like after Thanksgiving is when like winter starts in my kind of brain.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. It's calendar weird things, but yeah, good show.
Cool. All right, you done talking about Spider-Man then? All right. Anything else to say? Any closing comments on it? Just that it's good.
Excited for season 2. Excited.
I am too.
Spider-Gwen and Wilson Fisk is coming in the season.
He is. Yes.
What's his face is coming back for it, and more Charlotte Cox's Daredevil. That was really cool. That sequence was so sick to have like Peter versus Charlotte. Oh, that was so awesome.
Yeah. No, I can't wait to see that. Yeah. I kind of hope that they do. The seasons technically start about a month after they should. Damn, really? Would you agree with that? That they start a month after they should?
Yeah, we're always a bit, but to be fair, I think global warming is also a bit of that, where it's like,
yeah, seasons don't match up anymore, really.
Yeah, winter hasn't been too bad yet, but like now it seems like the end of January to February to beginning of March is like our worst of winter, whereas like March should be spring. It's like, come on, guys, like it's But I also just have an issue with like, this is a side rant that no one gives a shit about, but like I also just think New Year's is set at the wrong time, at least for our like the American weather, because I'm like,
sure,
I don't like January being snowy and cold. I wish it started in the spring where like new like spring is like new life and new trees coming back and like new beginnings, and that should be when we're setting new goals, not January right after Christmas. I don't side rant.
I mean, I agree with you. I think March, like late March especially, feels more like the beginning of it. The start of like a new season sort of
March
thing.
1st would be a great like New Year's Day. Yeah,
sure. I don't disagree with you. Should rearrange the whole calendar. If we can get every country in the world to agree to change the calendar to something that matches for everybody,
let's do it.
Would be pretty crazy.
All right, what's your number?
But one last thing I want to say, Spider-Man, is I would not be opposed to them every season doing something related to an MCU film, but in the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man vibe. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Infinity War from the point of view of this. Like, briefly, it could be like one episode of just like how Infinity War went down in this universe or something like that. Like, I think that'd be cool.
Which one would you pick? Like which character would you pick to do like a what if thing on?
I'm saying for like Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Like, I would have them like do like how Infinity War went down
in this universe. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or like it doesn't even have to be Infinity War. They could do like how the Eternals, I don't know. Yeah, how Eternals went down or something like that. Yeah. Like once a season they pick one MCU film and are like, okay, we'll do one episode this year where we're showing how that film went down in this continuity. Because I get doing a whole like season around that would take away from what makes this show unique.
Infinity War would be so fascinating if they decided to like, do we just lose half the cast for a season or something? Like, that'd be insane.
That'd be crazy. Just do what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. should have done and have some consequences. Okay, we'll move on to my number 10, which is, sorry, it takes me ages to get each individual picture out because StreamYard is crazy. So this is the one that technically wasn't my number 10. Fallout was, and this was 11. But Star Trek Strange New World season 3 we were waiting a bit between seasons 2 and 3, and season 4 is supposed to be this coming year. Well, this year, I guess, with season 5, the final season, being next year. But this was the season where the fans started to turn on the show. There was a lot of hate for Stranger Worlds this year, saying that it's the same the show has always been, but people are getting fed up with that. People are getting kind of over the I don't know, the status quo sort of thing. But I mean, this just kind of what Star Trek is. It's every episode's a new adventure with the same cast, with each episode focusing on a different character, and that's kind of what Strange New Worlds is. Like this season, they did a 1950s, 1960s Hollywood TV show sci-fi set that was a murder mystery that felt like a mix of like Knives Out on the set of the original Star Trek or something like that. And they did wedding episode with Q showing up and like all that sort of stuff. The one where the castle turned into Vulcans. Like they did a lot of new stuff this season that was fun. It was wacky, and it kind of is the same the show has always been, but the fans are starting to turn on it. The fans don't really super love it anymore, which is crazy because for a while this was the current Star Trek Golden Goose, where the fans were loving this one. But I mean, Star Trek fans, they're so frustrating sometimes, man. They just every other week they decide, okay, this is what we hate now. Like it's frustrating because I was watching it and I was having a great time. They did a documentary episode that was just like Arrow's 150th documentary episode, and I loved it. And then I went on to like all the Star Trek places where people were talking about it, and they hated it. They thought it was terrible. They were like, "This is the worst episode of the show." I was like, "Oh, okay." Yeah.
Star Trek seems like one of those fandoms where you might just have to consider exiling yourself from the fandom a little bit. I'm kind of with that with right now with like Stranger Things fans, because I kind of like criticisms are fair and fine, but it feels like everything about it is like the worst thing that's ever been invented. It's like, okay, you guys are just miserable all the time about everything, and Marvel's getting like that. Star Wars has been like that for ages now. Doctor Who's like that, but
Doctor Who's definitely like that at the moment.
It's yeah. I mean, again, it feels like Star Trek is in a very
no. I make that same mistake as well, man. Don't you worry about
it. It feels like they're in a very interesting place in the fandom, and just in there because they just announced like a new fresh reboot where it's like completely new faces and characters and stuff.
They're doing a new movie, which they're saying is like they're not doing the Star Trek 4 anymore. They're doing like a whole new film now. I mean, we got Starfleet Academy coming out next week.
Yeah.
Which is the people are calling like CW Star Trek and stuff like that. But I mean, the reviews came out over the past few days, and the reviews are really positive. They're more positive than Star Trek shows have been in a while. But of course, people still hate the reviews and are pointing out the flaws in the reviews and being like, "Why would anybody care about this certain thing that the review mentions?"
Yeah.
So, are you gonna watch it? I remember you were saying you were interested in Starfleet Academy.
I thought about doing it for like the bit, being like, like the one everyone's hating on to be the one that I am.
You should.
This is the best Star Wars or Star Trek things. Like, wait, have you seen the others? No, but it's still the best. Just that's like the bit.
I think you should do that. I think that'd be hilarious.
It'd be funny. Maybe. I think this year, like I want this year to be the year that I get into like a lot of the franchises I've been lacking on. I would like to try and dive into like some of the Star Trek movies this year and try to get my toes wet in some of these different genres of movies and shows and stuff like that. So
I think it's a good time to do it, especially since, I mean, unfortunately the shows are definitely winding down now. Like over the last few years, 4 of the shows have ended or gotten cancelled. I know Strange New World is ending in 2 years, and Starfleet Academy is just about to start, but it's like the least amount of new Star Trek stuff we've had in a while, unfortunately. Just going to read this comment really quick from Short Car. I think Star Trek is one of those franchises where it's become so big it's impossible to please everyone. There's definitely part of it, but I think as well is just Star Trek is such an old franchise that there are a lot of people who grew up with it who are very set in their ways about what they think the franchise is, and they're not really willing to accept that it's different now, or that, things are meant to evolve with the times and evolve with the world around it. And certain people aren't open to that happening. But I mean, that's the same for Star Wars. That's the same for Doctor Who. That's the same for so many things, unfortunately.
I literally, again, not to bring it back to this, but like I had this conversation with Stranger Things this week where it's like, I think a lot of people kind of forgot the vibe and the tone of it because they watched it when they were like 12 and now they're in their 20s. It's like, you forgot, and this goes for Star Wars and Star Trek, but like you forgot that this is a little bit of a goofy little thing, and now you're just kind of looking back on it with those rose tinted glasses. Like it's not, it didn't necessarily change that much. You changed more, and so
absolutely,
yeah.
Not to bring up the Arrowverse again, but like when I watched it for the first time, when Arrow first came out, I was like 12, 13. And I loved it. And same with Flash coming out a few years later. I was in love with it. And then going back and rewatching it, before like Flash season 9, I was like, this is a very corny, cheesy, goofy universe that I forgot how semi-childish it could be sometimes. Like it was always that way. You didn't look at it like that. Yeah, Star Trek Strange Worlds season 3. Okay, you want to go on your number 9?
My number 9. I also didn't know this would stay in my top 10. I thought I was like, I'll put it up there. I think when I first watched it, it was like my number 4. It was like towards the summer. I hadn't watched that many stuff, but it still ended up on there. Adults season 1. What is it, from FX? If I'm not mistaken, yes, FX. There we go. This is such an interesting show because I knew nothing about it, and then like overnight, everyone and their mom were talking about that show.
This was one of those ones from this year. Yeah,
it was like, what the hell? What is this show? And I think the best way to describe it is like, it's like Friends meets It's Always Sunny in that way. Agree. It's like It's Always Sunny, but for like Gen Z audiences in a way that I thought was kind of interesting. As someone who hasn't watched much of It's Always Sunny, just a couple seasons of it, but like, is that kind of vibe where it's like, hey, these guys aren't the greatest. Like, they're not the greatest people, but they're in it together, and like they make those mistakes and they go through those trials. And yeah, like, you know, did maybe some outlets were they maybe paid to promote it maybe a little bit too much, perhaps? That may be the case.
I thought that was potentially the case.
I did see it everywhere. Like, I saw like Discussing Film make like 5 posts on it a day. It's like, okay, what's going on here, guys? What's
you can always tell when Discussing Film have been incentivized to promote something, because there's always like the most random film or the most random TV show that isn't out yet. Nobody's talking about it, but they're making loads of posts about it every day for some reason. And you're always like, okay, something's up there.
That being said, though, I think it's an incredibly fun time. I'm always in for like a good coming of age series, a good coming of age story. I think it's very charming. I think this cast has incredibly fun energy. I think it's important to have shows like this. Going back to Charlie Cox, which has been in like 3 shows I watched this year. It's kind of crazy. And a movie I watched this year too. He's on a roll. His character is so insanely chaotic and adds so much to those episodes that he's in. Just, it's so funny to see him in this drunken, chaotic stumber of a character, and that chaotic energy that he brings, and this whole cast brings to their characters. It's an incredibly fun show. I think it got picked up for season 2, which was one of my confirmed. So so that's
It was pretty. It was late though. It got a late confirmation, I think.
I wasn't sure. It took like 4 to 5 months for them to get paid. I think it just happened. And that concerned me. That was it was also a weird thing I found, because like I found out like of the show from a podcast that I listened to. It's not like a nerdy podcast. It's just like a regular podcast that someone had, and they had brung on like one of the guests. And I think this cast is so interesting, the way that they promote the show. They're so young, they're so our age, that like half of the promotion is like them on TikTok like, hey, do you want more of the show? Then go watch our show. Like, I saw more of that than like FX promoting the show itself. And that was so interesting to me. It feels like there's that like personal connection. Like, it feels like you just found someone on TikTok. It's like, oh, I'm going to go watch their show because they told me to, in like a weird way. I don't have much to say on this one though, but it's a fun little show. I thought it was cute.
Yeah. No, I did watch it around when it came out. Mainly because it was one of those shows that it was just overnight everyone was talking about. Like, there were a few of those shows this year that it was like nobody's radar, and then all of a sudden everybody was talking about it. Like, Heated Rivalry was the last one of the year where it was nobody was talking about it, and then everybody was talking about it. And ours was the exact same thing. And I thought it was fun. I thought the cast was really enjoyable. Like, they were definitely the highlight of it. And Charlie Cox himself was great. But I think comedies always have a first season problem. You pretty much never see a comedy have a fantastic or an amazing first season. It always grows with how the cast get to know each other more as well, and how they get to play off each other in a comedy. Like, even like the best comedies, like It's Always Sunny or Community, to a lesser extent, because Community has a much longer first season. But I think, like, you know, the first half a season of Community isn't nearly as strong as the second half of the first season of Community, because a lot of these people are taking ages to get to know each other. The writers are still trying to figure out, like, the writers have to work in as well how the actors, how comedically physical these actors are. Like, what can they do? What jokes can they make work better than, like, you know, like, I forget all the characters' names in Adults because there's so many TV shows every year. But like, which character can make a certain joke better than another character? But that other character can probably also make a joke better than another character. And the writers then have to work that in of what kind of humor works best for everybody. And that's something that in season 2 they kind of get a handle on and stuff like that. So I think comedies, more so than like drama shows, are much more dependent on a second and a third season, so they always should deserve leniency and renewal. But I think it was just the non-stop promoting I saw of this show on everything. Like, it wasn't even from FX, like you said, but it was just so many like random news related places or TV related places were promoting the show, obviously, but pretending it was just a post about like, oh, I just stumbled upon this brand new show, Adults on FX, that is always on at this time every week. You should also watch it.
Yeah.
Like, it sounded so disingenuous to me, but I mean, it got me to watch it anyway, so it obviously worked.
Yeah.
But I thought it definitely had like an It's Always Sunny vibe to it, with like Gen Z It's Always Sunny, essentially.
Yep.
And I enjoyed it well enough, but I thought it was a little bit obnoxious sometimes and a little bit loud. And I know It's Always Sunny is loud as well, but it just, I don't know. I liked it well enough. I'm very obviously going to show up for season 2, and I do think the show will only get better with season 2.
I would agree. I think I can definitely see what you're coming from, where it's very loud and very chaotic. I also think that's a little bit of the point. Like, I think it's like, I think Gen Zs are also very loud and obnoxious, and there are times where I'm like, oh, why the fuck are they doing? Like, this is so insane. It's definitely that Always Sunny, that like cringe factor sometimes, where I have to pause and be like, no, and I have to be like, okay, I'm gonna resume it, and no, pause it again. So, but again, I do think that's a little bit of the energy, and I think I fully agree. I think sitcoms and comedies are really hard to get off the ground nowadays.
Yeah.
That's why there's so less of them than there ever has been over the last, like, probably ever, just because, like, so many, it's like, oh, people didn't watch it season 1, it's gone. It's like, well, no, you have to let them, like...
Yeah, the audience grows with time.
Yeah, you have to let them go. It's my favorites of all time. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's, I hated season 1. I thought season 1 was kind of mid. But it's like, oh, but it gets better by the end of the season. And, you know, I never watched The Office because the first couple episodes I thought
the first season is not great.
Painfully unfunny. And so I never went back. But, you have to let them, like, cook and have a couple seasons. I kind of wish most sitcoms would allow them to be like, okay, 2 seasons are picked up from
give them a renewal,
And then then you can cancel after a second season if it hasn't found its audience yet. But, for sure.
No, I completely agree. It's like, I think, you know, this cast is going to get to know each other, know where the comedic beats lie for everybody, know what sort of comedy works best for everybody. It's kind of stuff that you can't know until you've already written and filmed 6 to 8 episodes, so that you've kind of figured out this sort of stuff. Like, honestly, I think if it had been like a 16 episode season of a show that was just split into 2 parts, I think that the second half of the season would have shown a clear improvement over the first half. Like, even then, I thought that the last 2 or 3 episodes of season 1 were much better than the first 4 or 5 episodes. So I think it's you know, you got to let them cook. For me, it didn't. I think it ended up like, let me double check where it ended up for me on my list. I probably should be doing this like when you have a show that's on your list. I should be saying where it is for me anyway.
Yeah.
But I think it was. Sorry, go ahead.
No, like, I was just going to add on to just, like, I don't think sitcoms work on an 8-episode format. Like, I just think that's an improper... Again, like, streaming as a whole, I don't think it works as binge models. They tried that with, like, what, like, That 90s Show, and it was just, like, they tried to do, like, part 1 and part 2. It was like, I don't think that works for them. I think you have to have that, like, weekly release formula, and, I don't know. It's strange.
No, I agree completely. I also cannot find it on my list. Like, did I forget to put it on my list?
Maybe it was in your top 10.
Maybe it was in my top 10. You could be right. That's crazy. I know for a fact it was on my list at some point. That's crazy. I accidentally removed from my list. I think it was around like 40 or something though, out of the 89 shows on the list.
Fair enough.
Vaguely remember being around there. Didn't hate it. Just didn't super love it either. I thought it was pretty solid. Yeah, okay. Well, I can't find that, so that's gone into the existence. Anything else you want to say about it?
Nope. Just I liked it. I'm excited to see them grow.
Cool.
That's all.
Cool.
I liked it.
So we've done 2. So I was gonna do. We both say one show that we're disappointed about, or I've got one that I'm disappointed. If you don't have any that you're disappointed, you have to mention it. Do you want to say any, or will I just throw up the one that I have?
I have several that I would say I was
okay, cool.
This year. So yeah.
Okay. Right. Well, I'll throw up one of mine real quick, and then we can be like, yes, that was disappointing, or no, that wasn't disappointing, and then you can throw up one of yours. Okay. So what I was disappointed in, unfortunately, was Daredevil Born Again.
Yep.
Was that for you as well?
That's definitely one of them, I would say. It was
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought, I don't know, some episodes were really good, but there were clearly a lot of behind the scenes issues that I thought led to a show that was nowhere near the quality of the original.
Yeah. I've said it. This is such a complicated show for me because I think independently, I really like every episode. Like independently, I had a blast with all of them, but as a complete package, it does not work as a season, and is very flawed. But again, it's also one of the rare seasons I'm kind of willing to give a little bit of a pass on, just because it's like I understand what they had to go through in that process, and like. I don't know. I kind of want, like, I'm in my mind. I'm kind of going into season 2 with a fresh mind, a fresh slate, being like, okay, leave all that behind. The creators are back. The stunt people are back. A lot of the cast is back this season. This kind of feels like it's low-key going to be the real season 4 that people kind of wanted from this season 1. But yeah, it's messy. It's a messy season of TV.
Yeah,
it's for sure. Just kind of all over the place. But great moments and great episodes and great things that they do in it.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
I think that episodes 8 and 9 showed some real promise for what a proper season of this could be. But I mean, my opinion on the whole thing is we as viewers and as an audience should not have had to sit through a messy season.
Sure.
If it was truly like this and truly so many different visions and they truly were saying behind the scenes, oh, just wait until season 2, then they should have just refilmed it to make it what they wanted it to be. Like, we shouldn't have to sit through all of these people who worked on the show saying, just wait, because the next season is the real season. Like, this should have been the real season.
Yeah.
Why wasn't it?
Yeah. Like, it shouldn't have got to that point where they had to do this from the first place. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm also just grateful, though, because I feel like in similar situations, a show like this could have been canceled, too. If, if people, like, in the cast...
It had low viewership, didn't it?
It had low... But, like, I mean, like, it doesn't come out at all. Like, I mean, just,
sure.
While making it, you have people rising up being like, well, this is not what we want, and this, and so, like, they could have been like, well, this isn't worth all the trouble. It's not worth the money reshooting. Let's just can the whole thing. And, like, so I'm grateful we got something out of this.
Yeah.
And again, like, I'm just, like... I'm grateful they realized when they did, and we got like Jessica Jones coming in season 2, and we have all these.
That's gonna be fun.
You know, the cop from the first 3 seasons coming back this season.
Oh yeah, Brett Mahoney. Yeah,
like that's exciting. Let's be honest, Foggy's back this season. Karen's a bigger role, so I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, why is Foggy only flashbacks, or is he gonna be in a bigger role, or is it just flashbacks?
I think he's fully back, mainly because like they said like last season, like, oh yeah, he's back for some episodes this season, and then the actor said, no, I'm not in the season at all. I was like, why would you say that?
Yeah,
like
why would you?
Yeah, we already know, man. You don't have to. So I'm like, yeah, okay,
that's true.
I think by the end of the season he'll be back. Like I think he'll appear 1 and 2 episodes this season, and the season will end with it being like he's alive. Oh my god,
he's back. He's back. Okay. I'm also looking at the time, and I'm like, you also have to be out of here within the hour, don't you? So we should probably start.
I have 2 hours. I don't have to leave.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I have 2 hours. So if you need to go longer, cool. I'm okay.
All right. Cool. Well, then you have
a Yeah, I'll give it disappointing. I'm not sure how many disappointing rounds you're going to be doing, if it's just here or whatever, but
I was going to do them every time we do 2. I was going to do then we do 1 each of the disappointings.
I was really disappointed in Peacemaker season 2.
Okay, that was also one of mine.
Yeah. Peacemaker season 2 is. Oh wait, actually, you have a Daredevil comment you might want to tackle before we
It was actually funny how much the show improved once Karen returned the final trying to. I completely agree. I thought as soon as you brought in the Punisher properly, as soon as you brought Bullseye back in, as soon as you brought in Karen, the show clearly gained a confidence in itself that was completely absent in the episodes where it was all about like the new stuff, like all about Muse or all about Matt's new love interest and all about like the new characters like Cherry and stuff like that. Like, and you could tell it was hollow.
And I think that's because they cut out all the development episodes. Like I think they had bits where you spent time with those characters and they grew, but they had to cut that out for the new stuff that they filmed. So they were in a situation where like the new stuff and the old stuff didn't really hold weight because they didn't have time for both seasons, so which made it very awkward. Which again, I think like considering it was still better than it could have been under the circumstances of what they were cutting and stuff. But I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peacemaker is such a weird season of TV for me because it has so much incredible stuff in the season, so much that really, really works for me. And it kind of feels like they just stopped. It kind of feels like they were building to something really cool. It felt like they were building to a really cool plot line. And then in the second last episode, they just were like, well, we're done, guys. We're going home.
It feels like they gave up.
It's like, well, where are we going? There's this entire plot line we haven't even touched upon yet. And it's such to me, it's such an importantly big plot line to tell. It's especially in today's day and age. And I think just leaving it on the cutting room floor, it was not only just not well done, in my opinion, it's also a little offensive with how they handled everything. And like, I know the final episode gets a lot of hate. I actually think the final episode is great. It's just not a good final episode to the season that they had already filmed. This feels like a good finale to a separate season of TV. And they really rush things at the final act there. There are everything with Rick Flag in that final episode too, just kind of just like, oh, we've gone like 0 to 100 in the last hour. And again, I don't hate the season, but like, man, they had something good there and they just completely dropped the ball on its head. And now we literally end the season with James Gunn being like, I don't know if we're ever going back to Peacemaker. Like, this could be the last season of it. I'm like, what are you talking about? What? Like, I thought you said we could enjoy these as these self-contained stories. But now it's like, oh, but he's going to be a Man of Tomorrow. It's like, okay, so you have to watch 2 seasons of Peacemaker and Suicide Squad, and maybe even the other Suicide Squad to watch Man of Like, no, this is against everything you've been saying, man. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, no, Peacemaker was the season 2. Peacemaker, not season 1, because that was still back during the DCEU stuff. But Peacemaker season 2 was the first sort of, I mean, I guess Creature Commandos to a lesser degree, but Peacemaker season 2, because it was firmly in the DCU, like firmly this major project following up from Superman. Peacemaker season 2 was the first thing that made me go, I don't feel as confident in James Gunn's direction as I did before Superman, or even as I did coming out of Superman. I felt pretty confident coming out of Superman, but then going from Superman straight into Peacemaker season 2, I was like, I don't know if he's making the best choices for this universe and for this franchise and for everything else. Because it feels like he even admitted himself that he wrote this when he was burnt out. That he wrote this after he'd been doing Superman for ages. He was writing this on the set of Superman. He was directing some of it while he was on the set of Superman and just doing phone calls with the people who were working on this. And unfortunately, I think it's noticeable in the final product. I think it's clear that he's just sort of writing stuff down on the page, and it's going from scene to scene to scene without most of the scenes really saying too much. Because I completely agree that once we finally get into the plotline and the storyline of the season, it's really cool. Episodes 6, 7, and 8 are far and away better than episodes 1 to 5. Like, I thought the actual storyline with Earth-X was fantastic. But there's just so many weird things throughout the season. Like, for the first 5 episodes, how many times do we do that thing where Economos is inside Peacemaker's house trying to open the door for Rick Flag and Bordeaux and all that sort of stuff, and then he just stops to start telling loads of jokes, and they're just like, Economos, open the door. Like, I feel like they did that every episode.
He's literally like, the show is literally stalling for time as they fill in an 8-episode gap.
And they were tiny short episodes as well. Like, you shouldn't have had to be spinning your wheels for so much time when the episodes were so short as is.
Which sucks because they needed more time. This felt like half a season of content. Like if this was like a season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that's what it like kind of felt like to me, where it's like, okay, the first half is building up to it, and the back half can fully. It's this completely other storyline. Like, I kept thinking the whole time, not to get sidetracked on like our something not in our top 10, but like it reminded me of the season 4 plotline when like they're in the alternate like Hydra reality, and I felt like we were building to that, but again, it just like it goes home. It's like, okay, we're done. It's like, no, guys, no. You're so close to something really, really, really cool.
Like they just left Earth X and were like, all right, close that door, never worry about it again. It was like
entire world enslaved.
Move
and like
it.
how am I supposed to watch these characters next season knowing that they left this entire universe enslaved? Like it's just I don't. And like I agree, I'm kind of not thrilled with DC right now, and I hate that I'm here. I hate that I was so excited for the DCU, and I thought maybe we'll talk about this later. I'm not sure, but like I thought Peacemaker was solid enough, but I wasn't in love with it. I like Superman. I don't love Superman, and then Peacemaker I was very disappointed with, and like that's not a good. Like that's probably one of the worst foundations I think one of these universes have done for me as a starting point. Like, Iron Man started with the MCU, and if you like it or not, like I still think Hulk is a good like starting point. Arrow started with season 1 and 2 of Arrow, and the
good
Flash
foundation.
Season 1. Like they just have not set a very. I guess Superman's pretty solid. It's a pretty solid foundation, but
even then, general, you had like Creature Commandos before it, and apparently you have like 2 Suicide Squad films and a Peacemaker season before it as well. Like, what is the foundation?
Yeah, I need next year. I guess this year now. Like this year is the make or break because we're getting away from the James Gunn of it all and just be like, okay,
Superhero Lanterns,
these Lantern, Supergirl, Clayface are going to be the like. Okay, I need to see a non-James Gunn directed DCU project.
See what the style is like, and see like these shows and these projects can be goofy, and they can be like they can be aware of the fact that they're comic book related properties and not take themselves too seriously. But I also would really love for like Lanterns and Supergirl not to have the kind of humor that Peacemaker and Superman has, where it's like characters just stopping in the middle of a big thing to have a funny joke conversation about something that really isn't relevant and really shouldn't be happening right now. Like which is kind of James Gunn's go-to in a lot of ways. There was also just so many weird things in this season. Like, why did they have Rick Flag there? Like Rick Flag Jr. Why did they bring in Joel Kinnaman for the one scene on Earth X if they were never going to follow up on that or do anything else with that?
So many drop plot lines. So many.
Yeah. And I'm not a cameos person. I didn't need cameos. I wanted the story to be the focus or whatever. Yeah. But James Gunn was clearly talking about big people showing up after.
We were talking about Batman and Blue Beetle and Booster Gold and Dick Grayson. That Blue Beetle rumor, man. Like we were going down the, that's also on us a little bit too, because we do like getting carried away with these kind of things. But still, he was hyping it up as if it was a massive thing. It's like, all right, man, I guess, whatever. Like,
I don't know. Messy season that didn't think this was anywhere near the finale of this show until we were on the final episode. And then James Gunn was like, oh, by the way, we're probably not coming back. Like, this is probably
so weird.
And we were like,
and right. Like, this was like, we talked about this a lot, but like, we said that they really needed to justify why Peacemaker was an important enough character to move universes. This was a huge thing. Yeah. This creates so many issues for like the continuity of it all. And I'm like, I like looking back on it, I was like, I would have probably just left it. I would have been like, well,
he didn't need to be here. Yeah. No. You could bring John Cena over, have him play someone else the same way that like Jace Momoa is playing Lobo. But as far as all of these characters coming over, they did not need to.
No.
Like, I don't feel like anything was gained from Peacemaker Season 2. I actually think that I feel lesser about some of these characters after Peacemaker Season 2 than I felt after Season 1, which is unfortunate. But it's not in our top 10. We're just ranting about shows. So let's move on. I also realized I don't think I did my top 9 or like my number 9. I think I completely forgot about it.
Strange Worlds wasn't your number.
No, that was number 10. Yeah, and then we did Adults right after Strange Worlds.
And then
Spider-Man. Yeah. So that's my bad. I thought I did do my 9. And my 9 is your 6th, I think. Clarice.
Yes.
So we're knocking two birds with one stone here. Do you want to talk about Clarice first?
Sure. I like this show a lot. Yeah. I was very This is interesting because I do think this show probably has more pressure on it than probably any show has in a very long time. Because I don't know, it's like being like, yeah, we're making a new like Mona Lisa. It's like, what? Holy shit! Yeah, like guys, everyone look at this. So I think the pressure was high. I think when you make two masterpieces back to back, 11 straight seasons of peak television, I think you have such a high bar to meet. And I do feel like for some people, maybe the pressure was a little bit too high on Vince going into this one. But I really enjoyed this show. Is it a perfect show? Maybe not. Maybe not perfect. I thought it had a couple of flaws. Maybe it could, especially in that middle bit. I think in my biggest bit where it's like, okay, it definitely kind of drags its feet a little bit, and maybe it didn't necessarily need to be 9 episodes long. Maybe they could have been an 8, maybe combined a couple of those episodes together. Maybe it'd be an 8 episode season, which I rarely say about like modern TV. But I love the world that they've introduced. I love these dilemmas. I love the pacing for at least most of the season. And it's such a fun, like, discussionary show of just like, what does this mean? And what does this mean? And how, where is this going to go long term is very interesting to me.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I mean, Vince Gilligan is a top 5, like, television creator showrunner for me, dude.
Yeah.
I love Breaking Bad. I always have. But Better Call Saul was the show where I'm like, I always describe Breaking Bad as Vince Gilligan as one of the best, like writers, showrunners, creators of all time. Like Breaking Bad is him as showcasing why he's one of the best. Better Call Saul is him showcasing why he is the best. Like it's showing how much he's improved from Breaking Bad. It's him at the top of his game, showing all of the insanely incredible techniques he uses. Like the visuals in Better Call Saul, we'll start an episode where we'll just like have like a phone inside a vending machine or something, and it'll be like Jimmy trying to get it out, or like that there's one shot that season 5 starts with where it's all of the ants going across the ice cream cone, and then it's the end of the episode where we see Jimmy drop the ice cream that all the ants go on top of. Like it's just such an unbelievably well-made, well-crafted show. And I think from a technical standpoint, Pluribus nails all of it. Like it's just, it's so well-made. It's so well-crafted. It's just one of the most visually stunning things I've seen from this year. Rhea Seehorn as Carol is amazing. She better finally get an Emmy for one of these seasons of Pluribus.
Yeah.
I think now that it's an Apple Plus show, I feel like Apple Plus shows get more prestige and more, I guess, shout out at these Emmy places than
also a new
AMC
show,
stuff would have.
Which helps. I think they like those like new hit shows.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's very interesting because like that pilot, I think like I don't remember the last time a pilot like got me instantly.
Yeah, it was great.
Like I was so just like immersed in the world just so instantly, and I ended those first 2 episodes being like, I need more. I need more. And again, she's fantastic. She's
so good.
I was talking about this over on my channel, but like this feels like it could be like a COVID show in just a way where how many of the episodes is just her kind of like just hanging out, like it's just kind of her sitting around and talking to herself, or it's like a one-on-one conversation.
I feel like it was written with that intention, probably.
Yeah,
like it was probably written over COVID with like Vince Gilligan relating a lot of his, real world things and what everybody's feeling into the show itself.
Sure, yeah, no, like it does feel like this like allegory for COVID. I know people have used the like zombie apocalypse kind of analogy, which I didn't see at first, but more I'm like, okay, I guess it is kind of like a zombie apocalypse if you think about it differently.
I would definitely describe the show as a post-apocalypse show or a dystopia show.
I think my biggest issue right now though is like Vince, I don't know if it's Vince or someone else, but they're like, yeah, I'll probably come back in like 2028 or something like that. And I'm like, what? Why? What's the reasoning? I could get maybe some shows I know are these like big event shows. I can kind of understand like a Wednesday and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like it's a pretty small cast. I don't feel like there's a lot of like big special effects and stuff like that. I don't know if she's in a lot of movies. I don't think she's in like a lot of these other major roles. But like I don't I like this show. I don't know if I like it enough to wait 3 years for a new season though.
Yeah. It's also, I think, just the pacing of the show and the amount it drip feeds you the information and the amount that it's like slowly teasing things. I think it's not a show that's well fit for like 3-year-long breaks.
I actually and I rarely say this, but I think I enjoyed it as a binge. Like this was a show I had a hard time being like, okay, every Monday or whatever, watch a new episode. Like the final 3 I'd watched in one sitting, and I just absorbed it a lot better as this kind of like long form story. And like a 3-year, I don't know if I'll have that motivation come 3 years from now. Again, I love it. I think it's great, but like, I don't know. I don't know if that's Vince, if that's Apple TV, or like what's the dealio there in terms of the break. But I hope they get that out at least by 27, at least by like late 27 at the latest.
I think they will get it out by then.
I hope
it's just, I think Apple as well, which, to be fair, this is a positive in a lot of ways, but I think Apple doesn't necessarily put pressure on writers and creators to get things out by a deadline. They kind of really much take the direction of give it to us when it's ready. And I think that's why they're saying like, oh, we'll see. And then Shortcar said TV shows got to ditch the multi-year breaks. And I definitely agree. And we're seeing a lot of shows ditch them now. But I think something as well that people should recognize is that even as far back as 10 years ago, there was still a huge divide between television and movies. Like, you would never see the big actors in television shows nearly as much. Or at the very least, people would go from TV shows to movies and they'd never come back to TV. But now, so many of the biggest movie actors are in TV shows, which creates this big scheduling issue. And also, with the way the TV shows are scheduled now, they don't lock actors and actresses down for contracts anymore, which is how they used to film things so quickly, is because they'd have like, say like Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul. They would have had him locked down for a contract for 6 seasons and been like, this is when we're going to be filming. Because you're on contract, you have to be free at these times. They don't necessarily do a lot of that stuff anymore, where they're not locking them down. They're more so saying, we'll try and film in a few years. If you can keep like a couple months free at this time of year, that'd be really helpful. But they can't force them to keep it free. They kind of have to work around the actors a lot of time, which they used to not have to do.
Which then my pitch would be like, stop hiring the biggest actors in Hollywood for your TV
you don't
shows.
Have to,
I think Euphoria is a big wake up call, or should be, when you have like Zendaya, one of the biggest actresses in Hollywood, and it's not their fault, but they accidentally created people like Sydney Sweeney and Hunter, who are also some of the biggest stars in Hollywood. It's like
Jacob Elordi's also in so much. He was in Frankenstein recently. He was almost Superman.
And there's another actor too who's in everything nowadays. He was Norman in the Spider-Man show.
Oh, Coleman Domingo.
Colin, he's in that too. Like, it's the cast is nuts. The cast is insane, which I understand why they're like, okay, end it. Season 3, final season. We have got to move on. We got to do other things. So I agree.
But I mean, a lot of people said Pluribus has had very slow pacing, like to the detriment of the show, and I can sympathize with a lot of that, but I don't think it took away from the quality of the show. I still think it was a marvel to watch this year. Like, it was one of the best made, technically wise, best directed, one of the best acted shows of the year. It was so creepy, the vibe of it. So many times when all these people would be talking to Carol like in unison at once, and you'd just be you'd be uneasy, you'd be tense. Like, I think it was really well done, really well made.
I thought it had such an interesting take on like Stockholm syndrome that I've ever seen.
Yeah, sure.
The story of just like, no, I will never do this. But that story of like loneliness and how it will corrupt you and how it will take you over is so interesting. And she knows what the right choice is, but she just gives into that temptation. It's like, oh, I think that's the highlight of the season for me. And also just like, where does season 2 go? Like what direction are we going?
She got Nuke now.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting.
That was a nice full circle moment of just like,
I did like that.
Okay, that's nice.
It's like, I want an atomic bomb. Yeah. You got anything else to say about Pluribus, or we move on?
Nope. Good stuff.
All right.
Hope we get to season 2 in the next 10 years.
Cool. Me too. 10 years would be hopeful. Yeah. Okay, now we're on to your number 8.
8. The last show I think this is the latest show I've watched. A lot I wanted to get through in this the last couple months. I've been so busy. I got to it. Heated Rivalries. We've mentioned it a couple of times already. What a blow up this. Like, I feel like every now and again we'll have like a show where it's like you said earlier, like no one knew about it. I had no idea it was doing weekly releases in November 28th.
Oh yeah, yeah. It only started like a month ago. Yeah.
No idea that was a thing until like Christmas Day. I heard everyone being like, "Oh yeah, we're going to the cabin." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like what are you possibly referencing here?" And then
didn't it finish on the 26th or something of December?
It was no. It was like it was on. I think it was Christmas Day. I think it was Christmas Day.
Okay.
I think because people were watching the back-to-back Stranger Things and Heated Rivalries, which is a really funny double feature to watch on Christmas Day. But no, our friend Everest kind of recommended this to me. He's like, "Hey, this new show is great." And I'm like, "All right, if he's recommending it, I guess I gotta
yeah, he only watches Peak. So
yeah, I don't know. I feel like when there's like a big gay show of this kind of caliber and popularity, I'm like, fine, okay. I did the same thing like Heartstopper. I hadn't heard of it until it was out, and I was like, fine, I'll watch it. All right, fun show, fun little show that I had. I thought the first couple episodes were solid. I thought they were really solid. I think especially just like the cinematography and how it's shot and how they do how the shoot things were very good, really cool to see. But I wasn't like super invested in those first couple episodes. Episode 3 came around and I kind of liked that like independently, and it was almost like a negative for the show. I was almost like, oh, why is this little Elseworld little project better than the first 2 episodes?
You're an I Want Scott and Kip show, not
Shane I was
and Ilya show.
I just want these characters.
Yeah.
But then by episode 4, I'm like, okay, this is good. And episode 5, and how they kind of bring everything full circle, how they combine the episode 3 subplot. Because at first I was like, why are they doing this random ass episode in the middle? Like, I didn't get it. I was like, why are they doing this? And I was like, oh, everything is starting to mix. You can tell their chemistry has really grown from filming the first 2 to these end episodes, and how the tension builds and how the story builds and how I think this really, really sweet, wholesome story does kind of build and build and build to the end. I was like, okay, fine, it's great. I was kind of on the like, oh, it's a little overrated, guys, to be like, fine, I get it. I'm on board now. It's really, really good. I'm curious where we go because this got picked up for a second season. And I feel like, again, I don't know the books. I don't know what the books do. I don't know what lines I take in the books, but I'm so curious. But just like,
I thought the show ended in a very like mini-series, limited series place. Yeah,
it could have ended there. But also I'm excited to just kind of let characters like, just kind of, I don't know. I feel like so many gay stories are about like the coming out of it all. And I'm very excited to see like, okay, what does that look like in the professional hockey setting with the Russia storyline where it is so hard to come out? Like, there are a lot of interesting elements where I'm like, okay, once they are out to the public, what does that mean for these characters and these stories and this setting? It's very hard for me to get into like a sports show. Sports is not my thing. So I think whenever you can make a sports show interesting to me, I think that's always a couple points extra. I'd be like, hell yeah, you made me watch hockey for 6 episodes. That's good on you.
I feel like that was hockey definitely felt like the backdrop. It didn't feel like it was the focus of the show at all. Like in
very Ted Lasso, where it's like, I don't come for the football. I come for the lasso of it all.
Like it's a way for them to put a lot of these characters in more tense situations that aids their story in a lot of way. Like it helps and makes the drama of it all more potent by putting it on a hockey backdrop. I saw my first live hockey game like 2 months ago. When I was in the US. So I understood all the references to hockey. No, I didn't. I still don't understand like that game at all. I really enjoyed it.
No.
Sorry.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying I really enjoyed it. Like I think of them that like you said, that episode 3 was probably my favorite episode. Like I thought that those 2 character stories were at the time of episode 3, they were more enjoyable to me than Shane and Ilya's stories. But then in episodes like 5 and 6, I got brought around on their stories as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, yeah, and again, like I think the highlight of it is just like how they shot the show and like how these actors on screen are really good and they have a lot of chemistry and they're back and forth. There are like performances in the show that like I think a show like this would regularly be in like my like 20 area where like I like it, but it's not like top 10. Yeah. But again, I think just how it's shot and how it's filmed and the actors' performances and what it just came out a couple weeks ago that it won't be up for any Emmys because it's not shot in a certain area of the world or something like that.
Yeah, it's a Canadian Crave original.
Yeah, which sucks.
Which
I think,
I think it's less about where it was filmed and more that it's on Crave. Because I think a lot of American shows film in Canada anyway. But I feel like if that's canceling out their Emmy possibilities, a lot of shows will be. So I think it's more so that it's a Crave original that was then put on HBO.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same. Like shows shot in England aren't eligible, or like shows like from England places aren't eligible on American award shows. So
yeah, I don't know. I'll be there for season 2. Again, that's another one where they're like probably not until 2027, which is a little
far away.
But I get it. It was like late this year, so I guess it's kind of within the year. But yeah, that's my number.
And also, I heard that actors are starting to blow up. That Ilya's actor said he's been offered a lot of extra stuff now. It had 2 people from Yellow Jackets in it. Scott's character, huh?
Sam Lane was in it.
yeah, he was. Yeah, he played Shane's dad.
Yeah.
And then Scott was the coach's boyfriend in Yellow Jackets in flashbacks. Okay. And then Rose, was that the name of Shane's girlfriend? Not girlfriend. The one who was like Mystique.
Yeah.
She plays the younger version of. I mean, I would actually say that Rose's actress is the main character in Yellow Jackets.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get around to it still. It's on my list for this year to get through.
It's pretty solid. Ella Purnell from Fallout's in it as well. She's best friends with the actress from Heated Rivalry in Yellow Jackets, which is really cool.
She's everywhere, man. Holy shit.
She's in everything now. There's an English show called Sweet Pea that she's in that apparently is really good that I want to watch.
Yes. Kaz has been trying to get me on Sweet Pea for forever. Yeah. Arcane, obviously. She's a movie. Yeah. Like, she's everywhere right now.
Oh, yeah, Arcane. Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, she's great. She is great. Anything else you want to say on Heated Rivalry?
Nope. I liked it.
Right.
It was fun, except for season 2.
Me too. I was excited for season 2. Remove from studio. Okay. Let me bring up my number 8, which is another Apple Plus show. A lot of Apple shows. Slow Horses, which season 5 came out late last year. I rewatched seasons 1 to 4 right before watching season 5, and man, this is one of the most enjoyable shows on TV at the moment. 6 episodes every season, comes out every single year, pretty consistently towards the end of every year. And I don't think that every season is getting better than the last season. I think season 5 was a little bit less good than seasons 3 and 4, but season 5 was still great, really enjoyable. A new little crazy plot every single season. They're already filming season 6. It's the teaser for season 6 was shown at the end of season 5, so that's coming out next year as well. Gary Oldman as Jackson Lamb is just like so enjoyable. One of the most enjoyable sort of like. He's not even really the main character of the show. He's definitely the biggest actor in it, but I don't think he's the main character in it. But he's just so good in it. He's really enjoyable, and I'm excited to see what they do with season 6. They've got Olivia Colman from House of the Dragon coming back for it, and they're doing I think they're combining the next 2 books into one season. So each season is based on one book, and then they're combining books 6 and 7 into season 6, which means there's going to be one less season for the show. I think they're finishing up pretty soon as well, so probably like season 8 they'll be done with that. And they're planning like a prequel film as well, where they're that's based on one of the novellas, where they're recasting Gary Oldman and a lot of the other older characters. But yeah, it's enjoyable stuff. Are you ever going to watch Slow Horses?
Probably not.
No, damn.
It's so I don't know. I know it by name. There's so many shows, man. There's so many shows that just that list keeps on growing every single year.
Yeah.
Maybe what you said it's on season 6 now. That's pretty.
Season
impressive.
6 is next year. Yeah. So season 5 just aired. Yeah.
For Apple TV, that's pretty good because they're still relatively new, so they've been putting out content.
I mean, it was one of the first shows. I think it started the same year the service came out, and then it's aired a season every year since.
Okay, hell yeah! I wish it's best and it's quality too. Like every season,
it's really good.
Solid,
yeah,
right? Hell yeah!
It, like season 1 and 2, they were like. They weren't great. Well, they were great, but they weren't, best TV of the year level.
Sure.
But season 3, 4, and 5 have all been like top 10 of the year level seasons of TV, which is really good. All right, I don't really have much to say on Soul Horses.
All right. Hell yeah.
Okay. What's your number 7 now, Ron?
My number 7, I think if I remember correctly, it was The White Lotus season.
Sure.
3.
Yep.
Is they're on season 3?
They are, yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah, that came out this year. I'm like, wait,
God.
that was this year? Oh my god!
Yeah, it was early this year. Yeah, it was. I think it started in either late February or early March.
Yeah, it was one of those early shows. Yeah, I just like The White Lotus, man. That show is just such a fever dream of a show every year. It kind of does have a little bit of that Always Sunny in me, where I'm just like, oh, you all suck.
Yeah.
Like you are all the worst people that I've ever met in my life. But
yeah.
I think this season was probably one of their more insane seasons in terms of just like how we ended. Like I think having the ending being, with the son dying and the father killing his own son by accident after like that stuff was so insane. We wrapped up a couple storylines this season. We brought some of the things full circle from the first 2 seasons that we didn't quite wrap up.
Yeah.
I thought that stuff was really good. I thought the characters this season were really fun and interesting. As always, though, I think this is one of those shows from like, I don't necessarily have a favorite season of White Lotus. I think I'm always just kind of like, I kind of like them all equally. Like I don't think any of the seasons are like an S tier for me, but they're all consistently like an A tier show, A tier television. I had the time of my life watching the season. Same as season 2, same as season 1. I know they're getting ready to film season 4 here shortly. I think they're getting underway for that. So probably not this year, but probably next year they'll be back with a new season. So I don't have an incredible a lot of things to say, mainly because it's been a minute since the season's come out. You'd be like, wait, what was season 2? I think I watched 2 and 3 back to back as well. So I'm like, wait, what was 2 and what was 3? But I like it a lot. I guess it's kind of a lot.
I'm the same. It was 28 on my list as well. But like, I feel the same as you do, where all 3 seasons of The White Lotus, they've never been like top 10 of the year for me, but they're all just so enjoyable and so fun that it's hard not to be excited a little bit for it when it comes back and enjoy it when it's back. And I just watched Glass Onion there last night, I think it was, where I finished rewatching Glass Onion, and because I'm gonna start Knives Out 3, but Glass Onion feels like, after rewatching it, it just feels like a discount White Lotus in a lot of ways, where it's trying to do what White Lotus does, but it doesn't do it nearly as well as White Lotus does. I'm just looking at the poster. I forgot the cast that this season had, like Carrie Coon, Jason Isaacs, Walton Goggins, the guy from Gen V, the girl from Sex Education. Like it had a pretty crazy cast. And didn't somebody crazy show up? Wasn't Sam Rockwell, was it, that was in the season? Like Walton Goggins' friend that he went to visit.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Which what they do with that storyline is like, again, this season just gets away with so much shit. It just gets away with doing so many of these insane storylines.
Yeah.
That you're like, this is insane. And like, again, it is so much fun seeing the like downfall of these horrible people, and there's always just like one, like every season there's like one good character. There's like one where like, okay, you got caught in the crossfire, that sucks. It's also just so cool getting to like see these super expensive places that I'll never get to go. Like I kind of just like to enjoy being like, they're in this nice tropical look. Like it looks like it'd be so much fun to just film there and get to go in these very cool places and just, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, because season 2 was Italy, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Which means I'm saying that as if it isn't really easy for me to go to Italy like right now if I want to, but like it is cool how they change it up pretty crazily every season. Yeah.
No, I think that's the way to do it. I'm a sucker for like a good anthology series. I don't have time to watch a lot of them, but like I think this is one of them done well, where it's just kind of like each season is a little different adventure, but also how they carry over is very smart too. Like I like that each season there's like one carryover from one of the previous seasons to kind of keep you engaged. So it doesn't like you technically don't have to watch the other seasons to understand it, but there's a little something there for the people. It's like, oh, you watched season 1, okay, this lady's back from the first season. Enjoy that. So that's interesting.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's just an enjoyable show, and I think it's just the cast that makes it every year. Like it's all of these random but really well-known great people that they get that makes you want to watch it every year and be like, oh, I can't wait to see who's going to be on the next season of White Lotus and see all the stuff these shows. Like that's more exciting to me than the setting or the plot lines is who they're going to get next season.
Like you said, it's very Knives Out, where it's like, oh, like what's the roundup this year, and like it's very fun getting to pitch like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like Andrew Garfield. It's like, whoa, really? All right, let's see.
That'd be crazy. Yeah. Which, to be fair to them, I feel like they usually do get one big movie actor, and then everyone else is like big TV characters. Sure. Like Sam Rockwell is somebody you wouldn't see on TV a whole lot.
Sure.
But he's in this season. Yeah, I can't wait for season 4.
Me too.
Do you have anything else you want to say about it?
Nope. Good stuff, though.
All right. And then what was that? That was your 7th, wasn't it?
Yes.
All right. And then my 7th is... Where is it? Okay, here it is. The Bear. Which, season 4... When did that come out? Was it summer or was it April? The season 4 came out. I can't remember. But, I mean, this was a conflicting season for me because we didn't know if it was the final season or not, and nobody would really... It felt like a very Peacemaker situation where they wouldn't really say if it was the final season until after it came out. And the final episode, it could have been a final episode of the entire show, like without spoiling it because I know you haven't seen it, but the final episode is the 3 central characters in one location for the entire episode, and they're arguing about things that none of them have said to each other since the first episode of the entire show, but they've all wanted to say to each other. It felt like a very cathartic moment of a lot of these characters finally opening up to each other in a way that they haven't done in the entire show yet, and that felt very final to me. So I came out of this episode and out of this season thinking that was it, the show was over. And I was kind of okay with it. I was like, as far as endings go, I'm actually pretty cool with that. And then about a month later, they renewed the show anyway. But The Bear always has that one episode every year that is like one of the best episodes of TV of the year. Yeah. I don't think season 4 had that one. It had one episode that was set at a wedding that was clearly their attempt at doing another diner or a dinner episode or a one-shot episode, or the one in season 3 that had John Bernthal's character. That was the flashback one. They had one this season in a wedding that was clearly meant to be that version of that this season. I didn't think that was anywhere as good as the other 3 versions of it, but as a whole, I really did like this season enough that I thought that it deserved a number 7. I remember I held off on watching season 3 for months because everyone kept saying season 3 was really disappointing, and it wasn't what The Bear, the caliber of quality that seasons 1 and 2 were. But then I finally went and watched season 3 early last year, so a whole year after it came out basically, and thinking this was still really enjoyable. This would have been one of my favorite seasons of TV last year if I'd watched it. And I felt the same about The Bear season 4. The reviews weren't great, but when I watched it, I was like, no, I'm still pretty confident that every year this is one of the most enjoyable shows on TV. But you're planning on watching season 4, aren't you?
Yes, I wanted to kind of get a couple in today. I didn't get the opportunity to, but
sure.
This is probably one of my favorite shows on TV. This is one of those things where I was planning on covering it this season. I was kind of waiting on my co-host. It was like, okay, we'll wait 1 week and then 1 week, and then it was at a point where it's like, well, it's kind of too late to do it on when it's relevant, and never made it back to it. But I adore The Bear. I think it's fantastic. I love season 1 and 2 a lot. I did think season 3 was my least favorite season, but also it's like it has some of the best episodes of the whole show easily. Like individually, it's kind of like Daredevil in a weird on a different level, where like individually all the episodes are like peak television, but I thought like as a whole, as a season, it kind of was like a bunch of like independent episodes just kind of like stuck together, and they kind of just like the ending itself, I was like, oh, it just kind of ended there. But I'm so excited to get into season 4. At this point, maybe I'll just wait for season 5 to air. Like maybe I'll just kind of do back to back at this point. But love the show. Think it's amazing. About like what you said about like the show, like didn't know if it was ending or not. I feel like maybe a lot of these shows now are kind of preparing just in case. Like maybe they want to do a season 5. That because cast is massive, but like also like these shows are so anything can happen. Shows can just end on a whim without any warning these days. So
that's true. That's true.
I've pitched that a lot of shows should kind of end each season as if it could be their last episode. Not in a huge way, but just being like, hey, stop it at a neutral stopping point just in case we never see the show again. And maybe that's what they were trying to do. What Jeremy's, doing Star Wars right now. We have
Eben doing Marvel. You got actually 2 of them doing Marvel. I can't remember the actress's name, but she's in Brand New Day. Yeah.
Like, our main like female lead is in like literally everything now.
She's all over the place. She was in I Love LA recently. That HBO show. Like they're all just everywhere, and it's like it's not even like they're all everywhere in like a way that they can like work the bear around their schedule. Like no, like Jeremy Allen White is in like Star Wars related stuff. Eben is in Marvel related stuff. Like you can't work around the schedules, but I think the bear is safer than most shows because I feel like FX is safer than most places.
That is true.
I feel like FX doesn't trigger happy cancel things unless they're doing like really poorly. But FX are also a little bit more safer with their renewals. I feel like they don't renew things as quickly as some other places might. Like they like to stand back and wait and see how things perform, which was like the case with Adults. And even the bear this year, they waited a while before renewing that. And then the Lowdown as well. The Lowdown got renewed like 2 days ago, and that finished airing like 2 months ago. So they take their time.
FX is also interesting too, because like at least I don't know how it works over there, but like all the FX stuff goes to Hulu, and Hulu's on Disney Plus, so it's like these shows are basically Disney Plus originals. So I think
that's the same here.
Disney needs like content, so I think they like things like the bear is like people just assume it's a Hulu original when technically it isn't, but like I don't know, like Disney likes I think that like award-winning caliber show on their network that it could be like I won 5 Emmys tonight. So I think they'll try and keep the show as long as possible at this point.
No, these shows are definitely Disney Plus originals over here. It's like I was up in Dublin the whole time when this season was coming out, and so like the Dublin buses would be going by and they'd have like the bear like poster on the side of them, and they'd all have like Disney Plus like beside it. Like it wouldn't say Hulu, it would say Disney Plus. So yeah, they're kind of just advertisers. Like it was same at Ironheart. Well, I mean, I guess Ironheart would have been Disney Plus over there anyway. But it was like they was all over the bus with just like Disney Plus logo, and that was the same for all their stuff. But yeah, anything else you want to say about the bear?
Nope. Can't wait to finally watch the season.
Me too. I can't wait to rewatch it. Hello. Oh, I pulled up your one. Sorry. Hi. My bad. I'm still getting used to this. All right, we did our 8s and our 7s, so we can really quickly talk about one each that we thought was disappointing this year. Now I'm curious to see what you think of the disappointing one I'm about to pull up.
Okay.
And which I don't have that many. I've only got 2 more disappointing ones to talk about because we already did Peacemaker. So this might be one of your ones, because the fact that this isn't in your top 10 makes me feel like this is one of your disappointing seasons.
Okay.
But for me, it was unfortunately Last of Us season 2.
Sure.
Was this one of the ones for you?
A little bit, I guess. Yeah, okay. I mean, okay. I'd say so. I listen. I am a defender of season 2. Like, I think. I don't know if I normally would have been, but I think I've just seen some of the worst takes ever with this season.
No,
I just see just the like most like, I mean, on the base level, there's a lot of like, terrible people that just will hate on it for the basis of like how people treat Bella Ramsey.
What they really stuff.
They treat Bella Ramsey the worst. It's so disgusting how they do that, and I think people kind of blow it up. And it's interesting when you are also adapting probably one of the most divisive projects of all time.
I would say it's the most divisive video game of all time.
Like it was like going into it, I kind of like strapped in of like, oh boy, here we go. And I like a lot of this season. I do think they kind of dropped the ball in the last couple episodes. There's some things that didn't quite work for me, but I still enjoy this. It's at my, where is it on mine? It's like my, let me see. It's my 17. It's like kind of right in the middle. It's like, it's not the best, but it's nowhere near my worst, I guess is where I
see it's middle for me as well. But I rewatched season 1 right before season 2 came out. Like I think I finished my rewatch of season 1 the night that season 2 episode 1 came out, and I just on rewatch I was like, okay, The Last of Us season 1 is one of the best seasons of TV in the last like 5 years, like easily. It's just really, it's like even going past the quality of the game. Like the game is obviously so beloved, but even going past that, just as like a television show, it's so well made, and all of the new things they bring in, like episode 3. With Nick Offerman's character and all that sort of stuff, like it's really well done. It's just great TV. But I think that season 2, it never brought that kind of quality back, in my opinion. Like obviously it was gonna have an uphill battle by huge spoiler alert, but they lose the main character, they lose the main actor essentially. Like that was always gonna happen. That was the game. The game did that. The show therefore had to do that. And I actually thought episode 2, where that happened, was the best episode of the season. And it was heartbreaking, and it was brutal, and it was horrible to watch. But it was the one episode of the season that reminded me of the quality of season 1, where I was like, this is that same show. But it was after that I just felt like the show was just meandering and wheel spinning, and it just kept sort of not wasting time essentially. But after such a huge episode right at the beginning of your season, it felt like the rest of the season failed to ever catch up to the momentum that episode set forward. And it just kind of made me feel underwhelmed.
It does suck that the 2 Pedro Pascal episodes are my favorite episodes of the season, but like I think episode 2 is incredible. I think it's probably up there in terms of my TV episode. Like I think it's a nearly a perfect episode of TV. I also love the like side field trip dinosaur like spaceship episode, which is probably the best part.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
I think that killed me. I think that episode's incredible, and like you get the backstory of like, her fully finding out, and I thought that stuff was just brilliant. But yeah, I can understand some of it. I really liked where they were going with it, because I thought they were like, I defended being like, well, why isn't Ellie more sad, or why aren't we doing this? But I defended it being like, well, it's a journey for her. Like it's not like the games where they're letting the grief build up and build up and build up. We're seeing it over time, but they kind of forgot to do it by the like they kind of don't. So I guess like that defending kind of gets burned to the ground once they kind of forget to actually fully go into the grief and that rage and anger that I think people wanted. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, and like the finale is a bit messy, and
the finale I didn't like. Yeah.
So so it's like it's one of those where I do defend it, but I'm also like, but yeah, there are problems with it, and I am terrified for season 3 to the point I almost don't want to watch season 3, not for my own enjoyment, just because of just like the internet. I'm just like, it's going to be a hellscape consuming this season, and also just like Abby is such an interesting, like how is casual audiences going to consume? I think we're going to see a massive fall off from the audience.
I think so.
Like people are going to be like, it's so because I don't know if a show's really done it like that, where it's like each season has like a different protagonist. It's almost anthology style, but it's not anthology style. So it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, because like the shows have done anthology style, obviously, and like even to take a recent show I rewatched, The Wire, for example, will have they'll have a clear main character in season 1 of The Wire, but then by season 4 that character will be in the background and you'll be focusing on some brand new characters, but people loved it because it was done so well. But like to have a show change its protagonist each season, but in a way that in season 2 has you watch one of those protagonists that's so beloved get brutally murdered, and then immediately move on and you're supposed to watch. Then I mean, I know this is more the game than the show, but then immediately throw you into the character that killed him, and want you to sympathize and follow them and stuff like that. Like, it's definitely just such a unique thing that while it might work in a video game world, I'm so curious to see how it works in a television world, because I feel like you didn't see the huge drop off of viewership in season 2 because people still wanted to see how the season would play out. Like, I'm sure a lot of people thought it was a fake out. They're like, there's no way you would kill Joel like that. But I think between seasons 2 and 3, when it becomes obvious this is what the show is now, you're probably going to see a pretty big viewership decrease.
And I'm so curious because they said it's a 4-season plan. So, and it's rumored to be season 4 is more like an epilogue. It's more of like a stretched out version of the final couple minutes or the final bits of the game. So do they get there? Because I could see it being such a massive drop off that HBO's like, well,
it's not worth it.
Maybe we just, like maybe you guys wrap it up now, and I don't know instead. But we'll see. I don't know. Like, HBO is still a massive show, so they hopefully will still be okay. I know hate watching is also a thing, so you could have maybe maybe it does great. Maybe everyone's like, oh, I can't wait to see how bad. Blank.
I mean, I think, I think for the first episode, at least, for a lot of people, it'll be morbid curiosity, where they're like, I wonder how bad it will be, and they watch it. And reactors as well. A lot of reactors aren't going to stop watching the show.
No,
like I can't say like Blind Wave or Real Rejects drop.
Real Rejects, it's it's still it's still like one of the biggest shows in the world right now. Like it's like season 1 broke record. Like it's gonna be fine. I'm not concerned. Especially it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. But this is a fair choice. I think this is a fair choice.
Okay. Do you have a disappointing one you want to talk about?
I'll throw a disappointing one. I'm not sure if you would even have a graphic for this one, but it's,
if not, I can pull one up.
Doctor Who season 2.
Oh, of course. Interesting. I didn't even think of Doctor Who.
I'm in a very interesting spot with Doctor Who. I just finished Matt Smith's era of Doctor Who on my own time, on my own personal time. But I've been kind of doing double work with Doctor Who because we talked. I think you were the one that told me, like, at the time, like, hey, can I watch Doctor Who season 1? And you're like, yeah, it's basically like a reboot. Like they're starting fresh. It's like a new season 1 for the casual audience. I'm like, cool, awesome. And it's so very clear that and this is not your fault whatsoever. You had I would have said the same thing to
I didn't think they were gonna fucking even go into stuff that I didn't watch, from the classic era. I was like, they're not gonna
Season 2 was such a mixed bag for me.
It
had some and I want to start by saying I think Ncuti is one of my favorite doctors. I love him so much. I love our companions.
He's great.
I love the settings. There were episodes here that were incredibly big, like TV, like classic TV, giant, like cartoon episode that we did like halfway through the season. I thought that was incredible. It's one of my favorite episodes of the whole show. I was so impressed by that. There were good episodes thrown in there, especially the first couple were really, really, really solid. But then we're bringing in things like the Ronnie and these things from classic Who. And I was messaging a couple of my friends who are into Doctor Who, but like, hey, like, so which season of the Doctor Who thing is it? They were like, I have no idea. This is from like, and like, I'll look it up. It's like, oh, this was introduced last 70 years ago. No one knows what this is, which I could be okay with if they explain what these elements are, who these characters are doing and what they're doing. They don't. They just kind of be like, hey, they're here, deal with it, and they're fighting this. And so much of that does not work for me. There's so clearly a behind the scenes thing going on. Obviously, Disney just got transferred back to BBC.
Disney don't want it anymore. Like, that's horrible. Like, that's how I think BBC are going to potentially put it on the shelf again.
You think so?
Because I think that the only thing that was keeping it going at the moment was the Disney Plus money, and I think losing that, I think they're going to. I mean, obviously, not obviously, but I heard that the war between the land and the sea. I heard that that's actually pretty good. I heard it was really solid.
I haven't watched it yet, but I hear it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, so did I. But I think that, like, viewership wise and quality wise, I think we'll get another couple specials because I'll have to wrap up the Billy Piper stuff, I guess, and then we'll see what happens.
We'll see. I mean, just based on the statement, like, they seem but like, this is one of our biggest things, and we want to keep it going, and it's like a new era for the show. But like the Billy Piper stuff was so
out of nowhere.
So like I'm interested because it's so like what the fuck, like okay, but also it's like, is she the Doctor? Is it like a limited? I'm hoping it's like a limited edition because I don't know if they can afford
it'll be like 14.
Yeah. They didn't it didn't say nothing like introducing Billie Piper as a Doctor. It just said introducing Billie Piper. So it's like, oh, it's probably like she's trapped in the mind of the Doctor or something for like an episode or two, and then they'll go back to someone new. But
or it'll be like the War Doctor or something. Or I guess you haven't done. Have you done Day of the Doctor yet?
I finished Day of the Doctor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What did you think of that?
I thought it was amazing. I loved those last couple episodes. His departure as well was beautiful. I ended up adoring Matt Smith's run so much. I started off very much like, he's not Tennant, I don't know, and now I'm just like, oh no, don't leave me, Matt Smith, you were so good. So I feel like that's just kind of the like trajectory of every Doctor Who fan, where it's like, not my Doctor until they are, and then you're sad. But it was very disappointing. I think Ncuti was done so painfully awful. Like, they disrespected him so much. He was supposed to film season 3. I know there's some rumors maybe he wasn't completely happy as well, which maybe helped towards him not coming back. But also, like, what is even this new season going to be? Is it season 14? Is it season 3? Is it season 16? Is it a new season 1? Like, they need to be like, hey, this is what we're doing. Like, I kind of wish they just go back and be like, okay, those were seasons 14, 15. Now this is season 16. We're here. We're 16 seasons and deal with it, kind of thing. But
I wonder what the uproar would be if they put the whole thing on the shelf for like 3 or 4 years and then came back and said, okay, it's a reboot. Like, we're not talking like a little bit of a reboot. Like, it's a full reboot. Like, we're starting from scratch. Like, the new Doctor's Doctor 1. Like, like what would the fan reaction be to that? You know. Like, would they lose their shit, or would they be like, I guess
what this should have been. I think they should have, like, if they were going to do season 1, like going back to David Tennant is not a bad place to end that era. Like, he's the most like famous.
He was the face of the era.
Yeah, so that would have worked, and you could have had Ncuti be like your number 1 again. I would like to deal with more of like the destruction of everything, and like the origin stuff would be so interesting to dive into again. But I don't know. I just wish the franchise best. I'm excited to watch, like, my plan is to get fully caught up. Like, I'm not watching anything else until I'm fully caught up with the modern stuff, at least. Not everything, obviously, but like modern stuff, getting fully caught up would be nice.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. You done with Doctor Who?
Done with Doctor Who.
All right. That was disappointing to anybody watching. That wasn't part of our top 10. That was a disappointing season. To all the 0 viewers out there in the world, thank you for for that. Okay, so we did your 6 with Pluribus, didn't we?
Pluribus, yes.
And what was the last one we did? Right, the Bear was the last one we did, I believe.
Do you just want to give your number 6, and then we'll?
Yeah, so I'll give my 6, and then we'll jump on to your 5. Okay, my number 6. I don't know if you watched this. Netflix's Adolescence.
I did not.
Okay, well, it was the 4-episode limited series, which you can even see there, right? It says a Netflix limited series on the poster for it. Mm-hmm. They're making season 2.
They do this all the time.
What is going on? They cannot let things be limited series or mini series anymore. Everything like that was the same with Task. If I bring up the Task poster, I'm sure it said limited series on it.
Shogun. Shogun's coming back this year, and
Shogun, season 2, yeah.
Stranger Things.
Well, Shogun's an interesting one because it's based on a book that was completely covered in season 1. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how good they do with that. And one of the main characters isn't coming back, I think, in Shogun season 2.
They treat shows like pilots. It's like they pitch an entire episode, and if it does well, they pick it up for more. But if it doesn't, it's a limited series, which I understand. I get that happens a lot, but like it is still kind of silly. Where it's like, okay, I guess we're never seeing those again. I don't know. It's weird.
No, I completely agree. It's so strange. Do you really know anything about Adolescence?
You told me about it during the summer, but I don't remember what you said exactly, except for like it was incredible and it's like one of the best shows of the year.
Until Pluribus came out, this was the most technically impressive television show of the year, in my opinion. Every episode of the 4 episodes is completely one take. The episode starts somewhere and it ends somewhere else, but how it gets there is all through one take, which is so impressive. And it's about the main kid played by Owen Cooper, who this was his first role, and he's the youngest. He won a lot of awards, and he's the youngest actor ever to win them. And It's about like an assault and like sexual assault and stuff like that, and how, you know, young people these days in school and stuff can be radicalized by what they see online, or can be completely ruined by what they see online, and how they act out on that. And in England, the show is so important now that they have been showing it in schools, like as a way to curb the start of this new generation, where what people see online and on the internet as a young person can shape their worldview and shape their opinions and shape how they act out on other people, which is crazy the show is that important. But I think it's one of those shows from this year as well, similar to Heated Rivalry and similar to, what else were we talking about that was just like that? I know there was another show we were talking about that came out of nowhere. Adults. Adults, yeah. But it was one of those shows that was just no. I feel like Netflix are the masters at this, of having a show drop and then it's all anybody is talking about. Like, they might not be great with returning shows anymore. People might always expect their shows to be cancelled, or when a show comes back, they'll be like, "Oh, the new season is terrible compared to the old season." But they're Netflix so good at getting new shows.
Hits or they're not. Yeah. Like there's no in between. Whereas like kind of where it's like either the biggest show in the world or they cancel it instantly. There's no in between.
Yeah. But yeah, Stephen Graham is one of the best British actors out there. Like, he's so good. He was in another thing that was all one take recently called Boiling Point. Well, not recently, it was like 2021, 2022. But this English film called Boiling Point that's set in a restaurant. Kind of similar to The Bear, but it's all one take. And then they made a TV show about it as well, with him returning like last year. But yeah, Adolescence, so good. Definitely watch if you get a chance, especially since they're making season 2 now, because they don't know how to not make sequels to things and stuff like that these days. But yeah, and then you want to go on to your number 5?
My number, I know my number 5. My number 5 is Dexter Resurrection.
Sure is.
So I assume this was one of them you said that you had not seen, correct?
Yeah, no, this is there's 2 of yours that I have not seen any of it, and this is one of them.
Very nice. What an interesting surprise this was for me in 2025. I started the year having never seen anything Dexter. I think I had seen like one episode, but I never continued. But me and my friend Taz this year went through everything this year. We went through the original 8-season run of the show, which was such a joy, and then we did not Original Sin, New Blood, which was like their limited series they had done. And they did the prequel, which we did that, and then we did the weekly journey through this show, and I was so enamored with how they did this. This is probably one of the my favorite revival series I've seen from a show. I think it's one of the biggest comeback shows I've ever seen in my life. I know you haven't seen it, but I assume you've heard the controversialness of the final season of Dexter.
He's a lumberjack now.
It's known as probably one of the I won't. Yeah.
It's like Game of Thrones and Dexter, the 2 you hear about as like the worst.
It kind of just like ends without wrapping up any major plot lines or things, and it does a thing where it's like, what the fuck are you like? Why are you doing it? And so like I like New Blood and I like Original Sins, but this was such a massive return to quality. This show just like, it doesn't feel like a streaming show. It feels like you got transported back to like 2011 again, when TV was TV. And it's a new location with new characters, but it brings back that feeling and that fun that you love from that original show.
Sure.
And I don't know if you know who is all in the cast this season.
Yeah, they got Peter Dinklage, Kristen Ritter, right? Both of them.
Like Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris,
like the freaking guy from The Flash and all like the DC movies, I forget his name, who's like Abracadabra. I forget his name off the top of my head.
But,
David, whatever it is. But like it really is like we talked about it with like White Lotus. It's very much like a Knives Out or like a White Lotus, where like they get to bring in all these massive actors and they get to just kind of let them play. And the whole plot of the season, I guess this isn't really spoiler early, but the whole plot of the season is like he gets invited to this party of serial killers and he has to kill the other serial killers within the party, and like it's so cool to see.
Peter
like,
Dinklage is the one who like invites them there, isn't he?
So he is so good. I forget he's Peter Dinklage because he is so good in this role, and everyone does such a great job, and the setting and the mystery is so brilliant. It's in my like top 3 seasons of Dexter, and which is like what they have 11 seasons of Dexter now, so that's a very high bar. It might be the show I enjoyed the most this year. It has a couple little nitpicks. There's a couple of things where I'm like, okay, maybe this one thing could have been done a little bit better, but like such a brilliant ride. And I don't know where you kind of stopped in your Dexter journey, but I
almost ended season 3. I was like right at the end of season 3. It was when he was Bail Organa from Star Wars.
Yes.
It was when he was in it, and he was like, "I can destroy you, Dexter. I know everything about you." That was one of the last scenes I saw.
Yeah, okay. I think you would like season 4 a lot. I think season 4, like, I think you could stop after season 4 if you wanted to, but like season 4 is like the end.
I'm gonna finish it.
Like that's kind of like your like first, like the end of the first chapter is like the end of season 4. Like you can watch, and I guess the first episode of season 5 is kind of the wrap up of that. But like that is like, okay, that's the peak of Dexter, and then it kind of, dips a little bit in those couple seasons, and but like. I think you would enjoy the season of television, at least as like a season of TV, even if you're not a Dexter fan. Like it's a real you could technically watch this as a solo thing. You'll be missing some things, but like you can still enjoy it as like a season of TV. It's very well done.
No, I'm intending on going back and rewatching the seasons I saw of Dexter, and then finishing the thing, and then watching all the spin-offs. Because I do want to watch it, like Resurrection. I just I don't want to watch it without finishing the original show. And it's not even like I necessarily I remember during my 3 season watch of the original show, I definitely thought it didn't grab me the way I hear a lot of people talk about early Dexter as. I was like, this is solid, but it's not grabbing me the way people say early Dexter. Like that it's not as good as people say early Dexter is, in my opinion. But I didn't stop it because I wasn't enjoying it or because I didn't want to finish it. It just, I think it was like right when college was getting like super hectic, and I just then never went back to it because then I waited too long, so I forgot everything, and I was like, all right, I need to rewatch it, and now it's on my watch list, and I'm gonna finish it.
I'll be so curious to hear you talk about season 4, because season 4 is like, I like the first 3 seasons. I think they're great. Season 4 is like on another level. Like I think it's my favorite seasons of TV now. Like it's brilliant. It's so cool. It was supposed to get like a whole spin-off based on it, which is now no longer happening. But like the main villain of season 4 was supposed to get his own like prequel series, and we'd see like where he got his like, oh my god.
Oh, is that the Trinity Killer or something?
Trinity Killer, yeah.
I have heard about him, or them. I don't know if it's a man or a woman or whatever. But interesting.
And season 2's coming back this fall, so it's like it's not that long of a break either, which is nice.
I've heard people say the Dexter Resurrection feels like a show that really could run for 6, 7, 8 seasons, like with a new thing every year, and that it runs yearly, like it, which is exciting. They're really getting into it. He's alive and killing it, as the poster says. Yes. Which came in July. Wow, I don't know why I thought that was a more recent season. I thought it was.
But again, like they did weekly. Season. They did like 10. They did. It was a 10 episode season that they did weekly, or I think it was like 9 weeks straight because they did the first 2 at once. But
sure.
It ran to like September or something like that. So.
Yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah, that's probably when I was hearing about it a lot. Yeah, but I've heard great things about it. It's one of the biggest seasons of TV that I missed this year, and I would have watched it if I had finished the original show. Like it's not like I was avoiding it. So I would say that this is like this and Hacks and Welcome to Derry are definitely like the 3 biggest shows that I missed from this year. And Hacks just because it's 5 seasons and I need to get on it at some point. And It because I haven't watched It Part 2 yet, and I don't want to watch the TV show without seeing Part 2. But yeah. You got anything else to say on Dexter? You got any final thoughts on it?
Nope. Great performances, great moments, insane ending. Which like that's another one too. If it ends in a way where that could be a great ending to the whole thing, the whole franchise. But it's not, so and that's okay.
Okay. My number 5 is one that I never in a million years thought this would be on my top 10, but it was Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal, which I don't know if you know really anything about the show.
No, I know nothing.
But Nathan Fielder, it's I don't even know what you describe it. It's like, it's not a documentary, but it's like real people. It's a real thing, but it's like Nathan Fielder tries to turn it into humor. He did a really popular show called Nathan for You from about 10 years ago that I didn't watch, but everybody talks about it as being like one of the funniest things ever. But in season 1 of The Rehearsal, Nathan wants to feel like what it'd be like to be a father, but without having a kid. So he pays a load of actors to live in this fake house he builds. Like, he pays a child actor to be his son. He pays this woman to be his partner who looks over the child. And the whole season is just him like learning how to live with the child and see if he could be a father and whatever. Season 2 is him learning how to be a pilot. So he pays a load of he pays like this big acting school to be like people who go on a plane. He spends an entire season, which like entire season is 6 episodes. He learns how to fly a plane. He fails his flight test like 120 times or something, finally passes it, gets diagnosed with autism, but has to keep it a secret because they don't let people with autism fly a plane or be a pilot apparently in the US. So he got told that he probably has autism after taking a lot of tests, and he basically was like, I'm going to keep this between you and me until I pass my flight test. And it's the craziest fucking thing. And I remember watching the last episode of the season is probably the best episode of TV I've seen this year. I was just mesmerized by it. I was glued to the screen and couldn't believe what I was watching because it was just so bizarre, but so funny, but also terrifying because you were like, he's Nathan Fielder. He's this guy who makes TV shows for a living, and for this TV show, he learned how to fly a plane. Now he's flying the plane for the first time in these episodes that he's making for HBO. It's like crazy, and it blew me away.
So it's more like reality TV?
Yeah, it's actually kind of like reality TV more than like a documentary thing. That's definitely what I should have referred to it as. But like, I hate reality TV. This was really good. This is just really well made. It was just one of the most fascinating things I watched this year, easily. I can't believe what he sort of did now. And they even ended the season on this sort of revelation that now he pretty often flies like cargo planes to South America or something. Just because he likes flying now. And that he's like, at one point in the season, he goes, I don't know when season 3 is, and I don't know what the hell I'll do to top this, but we'll see what HBO will give me money for. If they keep giving me money, I'll find something crazy to do. So it's like, I don't know. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I can't wait to see what he does next. Like, it's made me want to go back and watch Nathan for You, because I never did. But everybody says it's great. So we'll see. But it's like, it would not have been my kind of TV at all. And it just blew me away. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
Would you ever watch it?
I'm also not a big reality TV guy. Probably not inherently, but it sounds interesting enough. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't say no to it if someone was like, "Hey, let's watch this." But
sure. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, because they're like 6 episodes, 40-minute episodes.
Okay. All right.
I think some of them are less. I think some of them are like 35 minutes.
I'll keep that in the back of my mind for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely do. All right. So did we talk about 2 each there, or did we just talk about 1 each there?
Let me
see. I think that was 1 each. I think that was 1 each.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up is your number 4, right?
My number 4, a pretty big one. I have Severance. Severance season 2.
Oh yes, you do. This is also on my top 10. I should.
Yeah, I figured it would have been on your top 10. Where does it sit for you?
It is number. Let me double check. I think it's number 2. Yeah, it's number 2 for me.
Okay. I feel like this would be higher if it came out so early in the year that
it did. It was like one of the first big shows.
Some of these shows I watched more recently, they're more recency biased. The fandom also kind of sucks a little bit, and I think maybe that like dragged it down a couple of notches for me.
Yeah,
like,
wait, what was the controversy with that? I remember that they were being crazy on Twitter.
Was it the Emmys or like one award show? Yes. Actually, yes, because it was.
They were talking shit about Andor and stuff. And the Pitt was, yes.
I
forgot all about that.
Best like lead, and people were like, "It should have been Alan Scott. This is rigged." It was like, "Dog, you won like 9 awards. Please shut up." Like,
they won 9 awards. Yeah. Oh my god.
Sweeps. And I think that made me be like, "Oh yeah, well now it's not my number 2," which again isn't fair on the show itself, but just like,
no, I get it though. I get it. That was really frustrating. I forgot all about that.
Yeah. But like Severance just got kind of that show. Like I think it's like I think this is like the closest thing we have right now to like a current like Stranger Things breaking. Like it's the like the show right now. It's like honestly, I think a great comparison. It's the current Lost. It's the current like this kind of mystery box.
Yeah.
Episodic mystery of just like, wait, what is going on? Where are we going? I think season 1 just kind of like, for the most part, just kind of takes what season 1 did and kind of carries it out in a very interesting way. I think another reason it's number 4 though is like, okay, it does drop a little bit for me from season 1. Like I think it's a very small gap, but I do feel a little tiny bit of quality difference. I don't think that's on the season though. I just think it's because season 1 was so unbelievably good and so unbelievably well done. There's also that like bottle episode kind of in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I didn't love that one.
Kind of like, it's not bad, but just like,
it's the Cobra one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like if the show's up here, that's like right here. It's like it's fine, but probably would be better without that episode thrown in the mix. And I would have been like, maybe you do that as like a special or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like a episode that comes out between seasons or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It did ruin the pacing for me. There's a couple of times I did kind of fall off towards the end there because I don't know. It wasn't like sticking to me as much as maybe season 1 did. But again, it's Severance. Severance is some of the best well-made TV, some of the best shot TV, some of the best dialogue and mysteries and characters. The episode where they go like on the little field trip out in like the winter wonderland area, and we find out it wasn't really her. She's been under. Like, I'm like, oh my, that's probably one of my favorite episodes of the whole show. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah. This is great television, just genuinely great television, and like this is a show I will recommend to everyone and anyone that will listen to me. It was such a brilliant journey going through basically season 1 and season 2 basically back to back because I binged it in preparation for season 2. Great stuff though. Great season.
Yeah. No, I agree with a lot of what you said. The break between season 1 and 2 was brutal. There was a writer's strike between seasons that affected them. There was a lot of behind the scenes stuff where they lost a showrunner, I think it was, or they lost some directors or something crazy that I personally was bracing for the worst with the season, where I thought there was going to be a real noticeable decline in quality. And I think the pacing was weird. I think that there was some placement of episodes that I would have preferred them not do. But the last 2 episodes of this season were 2 of my favorite episodes of TV from the year. Like, I thought the last 2 episodes of the season were absolutely fantastic and well made. And this would go along with Pluribus and Adolescence as like the three most technically impressive seasons of television of the year. I forgot my number 1 is also really technically impressive, but Severance is just really well made. Adam Scott is great. The whole cast is great. Should he have won an Emmy? Probably, but I mean, the Pitt was also so good that I'm not really gonna, freak out over one of those like it's not a situation where I hate one of the shows that won an Emmy over another show. I think a lot of the shows were so good this year that it's fair. It is similar to Lost, like you said, but it's also similar in the way that I think that this show can live or die on the mystery. Like, I think if the mystery at the end doesn't land, you're going to see a lot of people turn on Severance in a way they also did with Lost once Lost ended.
They've kind of, I think some people already have done that a little bit with season 2, which is a little disappointing. Like I literally saw TikTok today being like, like not every show needs to be a multi-season. Like this should have ended with season 1. And I was like, oh man, like it's already kind of starting. And again, it doesn't help that the fandom is the way that it is, and that just drives people away. This is kind of very similar to like, I don't know, like some of those popular shows where it's like, oh, you either like this show or you suck, or like you don't understand the like technological.
Like, well, you're not smart enough to get the show.
Yeah, that's 100% it. And it's like, well, shut up. Like don't. don't drag people for not watching or not liking it. Yeah. Like it's.
I mean, it is a confusing show though. Like, I've seen season 1 twice, and I feel like I don't fully grasp.
Like I got that in season 2, where like there's a couple elements of like, wait, what happened at the end? Yeah. Okay, I think I get it, but maybe not completely. And so again, I'll have to rewatch it. I think ahead of season 3, whenever that is. Again, I don't think it's this year. I assume it'll probably be 27.
Yeah, I think late 2027 if I was to guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff though. Great season.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Anything else to say on Severance? Or will we move on? All right. So that was year number 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was going to do another disappointing one because I've got one left, but I think we'll save our last disappointing one until we get through these because we are a little pressed for time. So sorry, we talk a lot.
It's easy for us to do, just going down rabbit holes and stuff. Yeah,
it is. Okay, my number 4 is technically not fair because it aired most of its season in 2024, but it was also split into parts. You know, we had a whole part of Cobra Kai this year in February. It's also not even like it aired at like the first week of January. Like it was fully in February when it came out. And after being quite disappointed in part 1 of season 6, and not disappointed in part 2, but frustrated with a lot of part 2, part 3 of Cobra Kai season 6 was some of the most hype, exciting, fun, enjoyable television that I saw all year. Like Johnny Lawrence, Daniel Russo, Miguel, Robbie, Tori was so good in this part, like so much better than the first 2 parts. Samantha was a little let down, I think, in terms of the characters, like in relation to all of the other characters. But I thought everyone else was done so well. I mean, I guess Robbie was a little let down as well.
Yeah, but I was let down by him. Yeah.
Miguel, Tori, Johnny, Daniel, I thought they were all great chosen. It was just and Kreese, man. Kreese and Terry Silver.
Fucking blowing up the boat as they sink down. It's insane.
Could not have been more 1980s action movie. God. And the Iron Dragons, how intense and 80s villainous were they? Like, that was crazy. And the Miguel, I know we're just going full spoilers with it, but Miguel and Tori joining Cobra Kai again to fight the Iron Dragons that were going back, and then Johnny giving Miguel his black headband, and just there was just so much to love in this season. And then Johnny getting to fight. There's just so much to love. There's so much to love. I mean, the Miyagi AI stuff was a little weird, or the deep fake stuff was kind of weird, but I think in terms of like Cobra Kai complaints, part 3 of season 6 probably had my least complaints of the entire show. Like, I found very little to actually like hate or be frustrated with because it was just so fun and so enjoyable.
Yeah, this season's tough for me because if I was going by your logic, it would probably be in my top 10. Sure. But I just include it, like, okay, I include the whole season on my personal ranking. Like, whenever it ends, it's like, okay, that's this show's year for me personally. I'll count Fallout as a 2026 show instead of 12.5. But
I mean, that's completely fair.
Yeah, like the first half is probably one of my least favorite batches of the whole entire show, and these last like 7 to 8 episodes are probably some of my favorite television I've ever watched in my life. It's like some of the hypest things I've ever seen. You already mentioned it, but when Miguel and Tori come out with Thunderstrike as they rejoined as him as their mentor once again, is like the perfect full circle moment. I think how they end the show by like redeeming the name of Cobra Kai is so brilliant and incredible. I actually love Sam. I think Sam is one of my favorite endings of. No,
I love her as well. I think her ending is good, but I think in general she did not get a lot to do in the part as a whole compared to like Tori and Miguel.
Daniel's like pep talk to Johnny where he has to go full on Cobra Kai and be like, you piece of shit, get your
stop
shit together.
Acting like a little pussy and get in there. And when Daniel goes up to Terry Silver, he's like, haven't you heard? Cobra Kai never dies.
So
it's just so good. And Jonathan just said the same thing. Cobra Kai never dies.
It's so brilliant. Good. I'm so excited and also nervous about the future of this little universe they got going. Like Karate Kid Legends.
Yeah, I thought we would have heard something by now.
They've said they're working on multiple spin-offs and stuff like that, which I'm open to. I'm certainly not against spin-offs in this world, but I'm also just like, okay, gotta be careful. I don't want to ruin the legacy. I'm kind of hoping for like maybe a Robbie and Tori spin-off. I think especially Robbie needs something to fully like cement his, because he's the character that I think easily got the least satisfying ending. It's like, oh, he lost again. And like, all right, well, we'll see. But I don't know. We'll see. But I agree. This is so much fun. The season was a blast.
It was. This was the first season of TV from this year that I was like, I wanted to just immediately start go to YouTube and just start shouting down my mic about how good it was. Severance, I think it already come out a little bit at this point. Invincible and Reacher had already started. SAS Rogue Hero season 2 had already come out, which I loved. But it was Cobra Kai, these episodes, I was like, oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. Let me talk about it. I want to talk about it for hours. And I was listening to the music from it for 3 weeks straight. It was just so good. So enjoyable.
I was very sick when that season was airing, and I couldn't talk at all.
Sure.
And I kept being like, I wanted to yell and scream, but I couldn't. I couldn't barely talk. I was coughing, but it was such this healing, fuck yeah, let's go. It was so good.
God, it was badass, as Johnny Lawrence would say. You got anything else to say about Cobra Kai, or we move on to your number 3?
I already kind of miss it. I miss that.
I miss it too.
I think it's at a genuine rush. No show is able to get me to the point where I am on Cobra Kai. I feel like a sports fan where I'm on top of my chair.
You're jumping up. Yeah.
There's no other show that gets me to that level of excitement, at least not in the current era of shows. Maybe one, but this is I'm up here when I'm watching. Even
I completely agree.
Even when it's not great, I'm still oh, kick their ass, let's go.
But it'll have the most annoying, frustrating, brain dead moment from Robbie or Johnny or something in one scene, and then the very next scene you'll have them all fighting Terry Silver again, and you're like, let's go. You're just you're screaming. It's just so good. It's so good. All right, what is your number 3?
My number 3, I sent you my image of what my number 3 was. I think I might swap my 2 and 3 though, if that's okay. I don't know if you have all the things there. My number 3 is The Studio.
Okay, that's my number 2.
Number 2. Okay, so very close, very close. You recommended.
No, sorry. So this is your number 3 now. This is my number 3 as well. Sorry, not my number 2.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I'm switching my 2 and 3, I think. But. Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of those everyone told me it was the best thing since cottage cheese, and it is the greatest thing ever. It has such a massively well done cast. It's funny. The scripts are clever. It changed how I think about movies in Hollywood. I consistently reference the Kool-Aid Man episode on a regular basis. I think that's one of the funniest episodes of TV really I've ever seen in my life. I genuinely couldn't stop laughing. This also has a little bit of that Always Sunny cringe factor where it's oh my god, these guys are so out of touch with reality, but it's also so accurate. It feels like Seth Rogen, and I assume so many other people, put their real life experience in the industry on full display. And it feels like we're watching a show we're not supposed to be watching. Where it's am I supposed to know this information?
It's we're in the fly on the wall sort of thing.
Yeah, and so much of it, they make fun of a lot of the superhero stuff in here as well, and so much of the stuff we know where it's oh god, is that what happened with blank project that we saw a month we actively see things that are being talked about right now in the industry every day, where it's oh,
it's did they mean Blade? Did they mean this?
It's so fascinating. It's so funny. It's so good. It is more episodic, which I think is why maybe I lowered it to my number 3, where it's some it took me a couple episodes to get into it. Not every, I bet it's better on the weekly binge and stuff, the weekly week to week thing instead of the binge model where how I was doing it. But brilliant show, fantastic show, 10 out of 10 show.
No, I agree. I think this might be the most memorable show on an episode to episode basis from this year, because I feel there's shows that I love that I biasly loved so much that I rewatched them and I remember the episodes. But for a show that I only watched the once and basically didn't talk about it outside of when I watched the episodes in a way I would have done with like Andor or Cobra Kai. Like it's easier for me to remember Andor, Severance, Cobra Kai, Pluribus because I was talking about them a lot, but I didn't talk about the studio a lot outside of the episodes airing. But I still feel like I remember most of the episodes really, really, really well, which speaks to how memorable that is. Like maybe it's because they had a crazy cast, like Seth Rogen, Bryan Cranston. They had people like like Martin Scorsese, Ron Howard, like all these like directors and like people involved in Hollywood showing up. And it's like, they were just like, as somebody who did film and television in college, who has worked on short films and worked on not obviously big budget sets or anything, but has worked on sets and stuff like that, who has tried to make oneers and stuff like that on sets, like that whole oneer thing. A lot of the problems with it where they were talking about like the lighting's going down, like we're not going to be able to make this if we wait 20 minutes because the sun's going to be in a different place. Like that's the sort of stuff that's just really relatable and crazy to watch. The one about the missing film reel that with Zac Efron, where they're trying to find the after it goes missing. The Kool-Aid episode, obviously, we're talking about Martin Scorsese's Kool-Aid film. It's just really, really, really well done and really enjoyable TV. It might be the most enjoyable television show of the year for me, and just in terms of like how much I was getting out of every episode on like a minute-to-minute basis of like a laughing of like a, oh my god, because I was enamored by the technical ability of it with like the oneers, but then also by how funny it was, but then also by all the people that were showing up constantly, and then by the concept of the episode as well. Like it just had so many good things going for it, which are really good. And then Jonathan says, as well, they love the one-shot episode. Yeah, that's probably my favorite episode of the whole thing, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's so it's so good. I think that Kool-Aid episode was such a that one, like the big one when they're actually like making the movie and stuff like that, was the one where it's like, oh, we see this kind of mindset of people just being so out of touch and so scared with modern, media literacy, and like things are always changing and always shifting. And I thought like even like the like Martin Scorsese one earlier on where it's like, oh, we're gonna pitch this to him, we're gonna do it. It's like, oh, but now we're gonna sell it back as a different thing. It's like, you see that kind of shit all the time. Yeah, it's like, oh my god, holy shit. No, it's incredible.
It was great. The Kool-Aid episode was hilarious. I'm trying to figure out what race they should be. Was so good. No, it was just a really funny show in general. I can't wait to see season 2. It was good stuff. You got anything else you want to say about the studio, or will we move on?
It's great stuff. Great stuff.
All right. So if that was your number 3 and my number 3, then I guess we'll move on to my number 2, which was my number 2 is Severance. So we'll do your new number 2. Dan, we're almost done then. So I got one more to talk about. You got 2 more to talk about. So we'll move on to your number 2.
This show has moved quite a bit. Like it was my number 6, and then my number 5, and then my number 3. I've been rewatching this week, and again, maybe this is just recency bias.
Sure.
I have the Pitt season 1 at my number 2. I don't watch many. Season 2 just, which how cool is that? Is we're talking about last season when the
I know, right? That is actually crazy to think about.
That's so sick. I'm so happy for them. I fell out of the medical drama genre for a very long time. Like I used to do the Grey's Anatomies and the Good Doctors and the New Amsterdams, but like not really my cup of tea that much anymore. But I saw the concept of this one and I was already kind of like, oh, that's very interesting. It's that 24, but in the medical field. Like it felt like such a why hasn't anyone done this? That's such a genius idea for this setting. I think I even told you about it. Like when I heard about it, I was like, hey, it's like medical, but 24. And I think beyond that, this show is such a well done, well put together show. This show sucks me in, unlike most shows are able to do. I put on an episode and I feel like I've been watching it for minutes and it's over. I was like, wait, I just started it. How am I? How have I watched 50 minutes of an episode? Last night we watched 3 hours of it, and it felt like we were there for a couple minutes. It's such a well done. I think the way they write these characters, the way they write the drama, this is easily, from what I hear, the most realistic take on a hospital setting. And it feels like, and I was talking about this with Everest a couple weeks ago, but it feels like someone just put you in a hospital room. It doesn't feel very overproduced. Doesn't feel like your Grey's Anatomy where it's like, oh, who's hooking up with who? It feels like they literally put you in a hospital room and you are just watching them work, watching them from their day to day. It's not the like episodic kind of stuff that you would see in like a regular medical show. I like how the entire season is a continued storyline and this continued growth with these characters and these patients. And I love how characters don't really like, some of these stories don't end as you want them to end. Like in a different show, it'd be like, oh, well, they solved this problem and now they got to deal with it. Sometimes it's like, oh, they left without having dealt with the problem, because that's what happens in the real world. Like there isn't this pretty pink bow on every problem. It's like, oh, that person left without getting the help they needed. It's so good. Such a well done show. I'm kind of in love with this show right now. Like I think this might be my current like hyperfixation as I'm rewatching this right now, heading into this new season. It's so good.
Yeah. No, yeah. I watched the season 2 premiere today. So this was actually one of my honorable mentions until you said it was on your top 10, and I was like, all right, so I won't put it in my honorable mentions if we're going to be talking about it. It was in my top 10 for most of the year. It just barely got pushed out towards the end of the year with things like what really came out in the back half of the year. Like once things like The Bear, Slow Horses started coming out, Fallout, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, they all kind of came out in the second half of the year, and they really did sort of push shows like The Pitt out of the year. For me, or out of my top 10, unfortunately. But the cast is great. Apparently started as an ER spinoff with the main actor playing the same character he played in ER. And then they were like, you know what? Maybe it's best if it's its own thing. They took the 24 gimmick, which is one of the coolest gimmicks any television show has ever done. If you're going to pick a gimmick to do, that's
pretty good.
One of the best ones you can do, one of the finest ones you can do. It just makes everything more intense and more real when you have it all take place over a certain period of time. So yeah, each episode, taking place over a 4th of July day shift is going to be really fun and enjoyable for the second season. And what event was season 1 set over? I can't remember.
I don't think it was an event necessarily. It was just a day like in September. Yeah, it was just a random day.
Okay.
I mean, like you have the ending where it's like a massive casualty, like it was a massive shooting casualty,
sure.
which was kind of their big gimmick towards the end there. But
which I'm sure season 2 is going to do something towards the end of the season where like something big will happen. That will force it to
like
get
a firework
really
explosion. It hurts a whole crowd of people or something. Yeah.
That'll be crazy. But yeah, no, it's good stuff. I really enjoyed it. Definitely one of the best shows of last year as well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say probably the best new show of last year, honestly.
Ooh, I mean, I'd have one ahead of mine, I think, right now. But no, I think it's and like it feels like it's escaped the like normal genre of this show too. Like it's not just like people who like medical dramas are watching it. Like I'm hearing like massive YouTube channels talk about it. I saw like New Rock Stars is like doing like weekly talks on the show. I'm like,
oh really?
Really? Like it was like that's such a random thing.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing for them. They usually just do like Marvel, DC stuff, don't they?
Yeah, like I saw like Smosh mention it the other day. Like all these massive brands
Smosh.
and stuff. It's like everyone is watching the show, and it's so crazy because it started off, it wasn't getting great views at like week 1, but as each week
it definitely blew up the more it went on. I hadn't heard anything about it when it first started, and then by like episodes 3-4, like it started to spread around the TV circles pretty heavily.
Which is why it helps to have these shows be weekly, for they can find their audience, they can find their groove, and the Emmy season helped it a lot. Like the award season was like, oh, what's this medical show that won the best lead actor? All right, let me. So that's awesome. Yeah,
for sure. All right, anything else to say about the Pit?
Great stuff. We'll be back with this next year, hopefully with season 2.
Oh yeah, we'll hopefully put it back on this list for that.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean we'll be back next year? Are you not watching the Pit season 2?
No, we'll be.
I was like, you gonna watch the Pit season 2 next year?
Also, you're right. What a way to start the year. Like this is problem. Like this will be my first like new show of the year that didn't carry over from last year.
Yeah,
so, like,
no, it's mine as well. Yeah,
it's like what a way to start the TV year. Like it'd probably be in my top 5 for the entire year. If it's good, probably for the whole year, which is exciting.
Yeah, no, but if the first episode is indicative of the quality of the entire season, I could see it being like probably not my top 10 again, but I could see it being like an honorable mention.
Hell yeah,
come this time next year, which is good. All right, so we just did your second, so I guess we'll do my number one, which it pains me that you have not finished this yet, because I think that this is one of the most important television shows of last year, based on the current time period where many countries are becoming a certain way or heading a certain way. I think that there is nothing more important right now than the stuff that Andor season 2 did in a phenomenal season of television that had 3 pretty solid episodes for its first 3. Then it followed up episodes 4 to 6 with which it was releasing 3 episodes weekly, by the way, for 4 weeks straight. Just 3 episodes were dropping at once. The episodes 4, 5, and 6 came out. Yeah.
I think that's why I didn't get caught up.
Yeah, because it was too much. So it was like a movie every week. Yeah.
It got just fell behind with all the other stuff airing. But yeah. Which, like, did you like that, like, formula?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I loved being able to binge the arcs. Okay. Because like episodes 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, I loved, but all of those episodes were very slow on their own individually. It wasn't until episode 7 that everything really started to pick up in like a huge way. And like I love those first 6 episodes, but episodes 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, that is one of the most impressive, enjoyable, epic, insane, emotional string of television episodes I've ever seen in my life. Like Diego Luna, it's Guinevere O'Reilly who plays Mon Mothma. She's Irish. I know I should know her name. I think it's Guinevere O'Reilly. Let me look it up. But she's just unbelievable. Like one of the Guinevere O'Reilly. But she's just unbelievable as Mon Mothma. She has a speech in episode 9 to the Imperial Senate after there's a genocide on a planet, and her speech is all about what to do when the dark becomes too much, and that I can't remember the exact words, but it's like the death of truth is the death of light or something like that. But it's like you can't let there be the death of truth. Like you have to, because the Empire are painting a very false picture of what happened and who started the shooting on the planet of Gorman. And so she's coming out doing a big speech saying you can't believe what the Imperials are saying. They're going to say whatever they can because they control the narrative, they control the truth, and you can't believe them. And you always have to go chasing the real truth no matter what. And it's just, it does not seem more relevant than right at this very moment. And
shows like these are needed right now, very badly needed.
Exactly. And, Tony Gilroy, who wrote this and created this, he knew exactly what he was doing. He wrote this with a very specific, like, not hatred, but a very specific, grim look at the world in his heart and in his head when he was writing this. You can tell is like permeating the screen and permeating the scripts, where this is a man who's fed up at the current trajectory of the real world, and he's taking his annoyances and his grievances and he's putting them on fictional characters that actually can do something about it, and he's making them do something about it. I just think it's unbelievable television. It's like genuinely it's the best thing Star Wars ever made, and it's just television at its finest.
I think Star Wars needed this massive win. I think there hasn't been a universally loved Star Wars thing since probably Mandalorian 1 and 2, and obviously there are some people who aren't loving it, and like I can understand some criticisms of it. I thought season 1 was kind of slow in some areas, but it was still like obviously very well done and well put together. Star Wars is always my like second. I'm always like, if I get to it, I'll watch them, but I need to get caught up, especially with the state of the world right now. I think these lessons are very important for people to hear right now, and if it's anything like the giant speech in season 1 where they're like exiting, with like breaking out of the prison, if it's anything like that, that was Yeah, I'll have to. You know, like this is a big year for Star Wars with like, you know, Ahsoka and, you know, Mandalorian Grogu. So I'll have to
there's a
try
lot coming out this year.
A mini binge, maybe Star Wars of stuff I'm behind on and stuff like that. So I
really cannot recommend Andor enough. And I think season 2 starts 10 times slower than season 1 did, but I think the back half of season 2 is so much better than anything season 1 did. Like it really is crazy.
First episode of season 2, and I couldn't. There wasn't that like motivation there, and it was like, oh, now there's 6 episodes and 8. It's like,
it was piling up quick.
I just couldn't get caught up in time.
Absolutely. But I don't blame you. Yeah, because it was coming out at a time when there was a lot of stuff coming out as well. Like late April was a pretty hefty time for television. I think Andor is going to become my yearly show now, where it's like a show that every year I decided, because especially since it's only 24 episodes, like it's an easy binge. Like if I just watch it. Like I pick a week every year and I make that my Andor week and I watch it. Like I don't think it's the relevancy is gonna go away for a couple years of Andor. I think what Andor says and what Andor does is probably going to be how we feel about the world for at least a few more years. And I think it's a good show to just keep in the general television circle, in the general discussion. So if you ever do watch it and you want to do like a podcast on it, let me know. I absolutely would.
Hell yeah. Incredible right. Number one choice. I think that's a great choice.
Thank you. All right. And then now we're done with my number one. We can do your number one.
My number one. My biggest like wild card pick of the year. I was like, I never in a million years would have said this was my number one.
Sure.
I have It, Welcome to Derry, the HBO Max. No, it's HBO. It was an HBO original.
Yeah. I don't know why that poster says Max. Maybe it just means it streams on Max. I think I cut off some of that poster. I think it does say streaming on HBO Max or something.
Okay.
Underneath.
Cool. I binged all 3 It movies for Pipeline this year because I knew the show was coming out. It was like our Halloween episode this year, and I liked the movies enough. I thought they were fun. I think they're fun little things. I think they're little, whatever. And I went into the show with kind of like, an open mind. I was like, okay, let's see what this is. Sure. This show kept surprising me in the best ways possible. I won't spoil anything about the show because I do legit. I think you will love the show. I think if you gave the show a shot,
I will get to it when I do the movies.
I think you will love it. But like the first episode, it's like, okay, this is all right, and then a thing happens where it completely changed my state of mind on the show instantly, and I was like, holy shit. And this same state of mind happens like 3 more times during the show. There's like, okay, this is going a different direction, and there'll be a twist, there'll be a turn, there'll be a thing that happens where I'm like, oh my god. And they keep doing these twists, and they keep absurding my expectations of what it's going to do. These characters they introduce in the show are so strong, so incredibly well written. They are the highlights of the show. Pennywise is obviously a cool character to watch on screen, but the highlight are these children. The highlight are these characters. It's very Stranger Things coded, where it's like the main plot's good, but you fall in love with it because this cast is so insanely well written and well done. The visuals are amazing. It's way scarier than anything the It movies have in store. I'd say I like the first episode of this show more than I did any of the 3 movies.
See,
like individually.
That is interesting to me because I remember everybody loved the first film when it came out, and I watched it because I definitely watched it before It 2 came out. But I watched the first film and I was like, it's okay.
It's fun,
I don't love it, but it's all right. I think that the Pennywise stuff is fun. I think the kids are fun, but it's not a film that I'm going to be itching to revisit very often. And then 2 came out, and I just never got a chance to watch it.
Yeah. And if you didn't like 1, you're not gonna like 2. Like you will not like 2 if you don't like
2 has like Bill Hader and like James Ranzoni and stuff like that in it, which I think might give me a little bit more of a push to enjoy it.
But I do think this show just has the benefit of being a weekly TV show. This, when you have like 3 hours of that original movie, this has over 8 hours of content and this slow burn storytelling, and they the show understands what makes a TV show work. It's not like, hey, let's just do an It movie, but in 8 episodes. It's formatted very well like a TV show. They fully understood the writing and the characters, and they do something in the final episode that recontextualizes the entire franchise, the movies and the books combined, where it's, as someone who hasn't read the books, but like they do a thing where like, oh my god, I now have to rewatch the It movies because they do a thing that is like so like holy shit. Now this show is almost way more important than anything the movies has. Now it's like the main show, and now we have to see those 2 and 3 stories to see where they're taking this. I was so like the finale is like I was kind of nervous how they were going to wrap it all up, because I was like, okay, are they just going to do the same thing the movies did? Are they going to fall short? I know a lot of these streaming movie kind of things, they fall short in the final act. The ending is beautiful. I cried multiple times in that final.
Oh, really?
It's just like, I was just so enamoredly shocked by what they did with this season. There's a couple of like tiny plot lines where I'm like, that was a little stupid. Maybe that little thing there could have been cut, or maybe written just a little bit better here and there. But I don't know. I had a blast with the show. I had such a good time with this.
Cool. No, I'll definitely get to it whenever I get through the second film. I'll probably rewatch the first film and then do the second one. And I still want to do the 90s version as well. But whenever I get through those, I'll probably check out the show. We've probably got at least 2 years before the next season, I would say.
Yeah, it's probably a 2027 vibe at least, but also we don't know what's going on with Warner Brothers and stuff right now. Like, it's rumored that Netflix wants this.
If we're getting the Batman film from this guy,
Netflix original instead.
Oh yeah, sure. Like, it could be.
So it's like, oh, that might take it even longer. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, but also the guy who made the It films, he made this as well, right?
Yeah, directed The Flash too. Andy
Muschietti, and he's supposed to be doing Batman still.
Brave and the Bold,
allegedly.
Which I will say, this gives me a lot of hope for Brave and the Bold.
Okay.
If they can, because so much of this is like about the children and how children act and write and stuff like that. So like, if they can add a little bit of that to Damian Wayne, I will also say, I want these kids up for Emmys. These children right here, they are some of the best children acting I've ever seen. Like, I think like take what the Stranger Things kids did and kind of up that by like 10, in my opinion. Like, they are. All of these kids right here on the poster need huge careers in their future. Like, they are so unbelievably good. I think they're almost better than the adult actors sometimes, outside of like Bill Skarsgård, which is obviously he gives one hell of a performance too. But brilliant stuff. Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'll check it out and I'll get back to you. And that's the end of our top 10. We did it. We talked about all of them. Thank you, Darren, for coming on and talking about your favorite show, Andor. 3 hours of Andor.
3 hours of just Andor conversations.
Yes, Andor, the TV show. But yeah, that was it. Let me just double check. I mean, we got any other shows you want to share? Any other disappointments you want to share before we finish up?
Sure. I mean, there's probably something on here. Let me pull up my list really quickly. I mean, Gen V came out this year as well.
That did, yeah. That was a little disappointing, in my opinion.
It
does the tiniest bit. It didn't annoy me though.
Yeah, I liked it a lot, but like, it was maybe could have been a little neater.
Yeah.
I talked about it a little bit, but like, I fucked with Ironheart heavy. I really I thought that was one of my favorite endings to a show this year.
Sure.
I'm terrified of it not getting a season 2 because it has such a strong ending point where I'm like, oh, we never seen those characters again.
Sure.
I think we should at least mention that Creature Commandos came out this year or ended this year as well.
I liked some of the episodes, but it didn't leave an impression on me, unfortunately. I wanted it to leave more of an impact. Like, it should have felt more like Guardians of the Galaxy for DC, but it didn't.
It needed a stronger, I think, ending. Like, I was liking it to a point, but then it really just kind of lost the ball and kind of lost what it was going to be. Yeah. Different genre than you typically talk about, but Hazbin Hotel put out a new season this year, and like, that's always fun, at least for the music. Like, it's that's a show that's always like a B tier show. It's like it's always really fun, but it's never the best show of the year. It's always just kind of because they're 20-minute episodes. They put 2 out a week, and there's only 8 episodes in a season, so it's only like a 4-week journey each season. It's always like you don't have enough time. Yeah, I need like a 10-episode season next time, and maybe a little bit long, but it's a fun little show. Like at least for the music wise, it's beautiful music that you like bop into it, each year. Marvel Zombies I guess came out this year as well.
I liked it more than I thought I would, but I also didn't leave a huge impression on me.
I liked it for the fact that I feel like that's the closest I'm getting to Avengers Kang Dynasty. Like I like that, like that lineup is what I wanted for Avengers 5, and I'm never getting. So I'll take it.
It is crazy that like half the Phase 5 and 4 characters meet for the first time in What If spinoff.
Yeah,
like that is crazy.
Yeah, but good year for TV. I
thought it was good. I thought it was a better year than 2024. 2024 was still a good year, but I don't think it had a lot of the heavy hitters for TV that we had this year. But Darren, thank you very much. Do you anything you want to plug?
You can find me over at Darren's Sanctuary. Main thing, the Pipeline Podcast we do every Thursday at 4:30 EST. If you want more of our convo, we've done so many episodes of the Pipeline Podcast. I think we're up in like 32 or some episodes over on that show. Damn. So you're gonna go check that out. If you like TV stuff, I have a TV podcast as well. Every Monday, we talk about all the live shows. Right now, we're doing Fallout Season 2 and Percy Jackson Season 2. We have Wonder Man on the way. I might do some stuff on the Pitt on there as well if I have time. Cool. Just ramble it a little bit. But thanks for having me, Connor. It's always an absolute blast to be here.
No, thanks for being on. Thank you, Short Car.
Yes.
Kayla. And Jonathan. Jonathan's always great. He's always showing up to these streams. So I really appreciate it. Really appreciate Minder keeping the lights on around here. But thanks. It was fun. I liked talking about Andor for 3 hours with you. And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Absolutely.
Don't worry, the next one will be an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. themed one again, because those ones always get some people showing up.
Always relevant stuff to talk about with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Always relevant.
Vision Quest clickbait, maybe.
Maybe when Vision Quest comes out, we'll do a little talk about if Coulson is going to show up or not. Because didn't we do one of those for Secret Invasion to see if Daisy was going to show up? We did like a stream.
We did something. Something for it.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.